It's April 18th, 2024. This is Rook. Hi there, welcome to episode 319 of Rook. I'm Jian Gomeshi. Hello to you from Toronto, Canada. Salam Dustana Aziz Durud Bar Shama. Hope you're doing well wherever you are tuning in from around the world. Hello, Smart Pegah.
Hello.
Happy 4th anniversary of Rook.
Yes, happy birthday, Rook.
As of 2 days ago.
So exciting.
2 days ago, April 16th, 1919. April 16th,
Rewind.
1944. Rook was launched along with the Titanic. Fucking April 16th, 2020.
Yes.
As COVID was spreading around the world, so was Rook across the airwaves.
I remember the early days of listening as a fan.
Yes, you.
I do recall.
You wrote me notes saying, "I'm listening to your thing. I wouldn't Rook. I wouldn't mind
Rook.
being involved."
That's
been
right.
listening since 1944 when you guys launched. So it was our 4th anniversary. We didn't do that much.
Well, we did some exciting things.
What did we do?
We had our first ever volunteer pub night last night.
We did. We have a
Very
regular pub
exciting.
night, but we invited some of our volunteers.
Yeah.
The Rook community.
That's right.
It was
It's
really
growing.
fun. Judged them on the basis of what they drank.
I don't, because you guys always judge me on the basis of what I drink, my hot water lemon order.
You're always watching your diet by ordering a hot water and lemon and then poutine.
And then poutine. Yeah, exactly.
Which, by the way, I ate some of your poutine. It was delicious.
Good.
Oh,
it was very good.
So good. So yeah, and we took a photo.
We did.
I mean, I don't know if that
Great
qualifies
photo.
as.
I thought it was so good.
It was a fun photo.
And a fun photo shoot. We had
Fun
such a
photo
good time
shoot
doing
for
it.
our 4th anniversary in the Rook Studio. We put it up on a couple of our platforms. It got like a bunch of likes, and okay, whatever. I got more likes for a picture of Oogie and I, walking down the street.
He's cute.
Yeah, but it was.
We had some heartfelt birthday wishes.
We did actually.
That was
we had some
wonderful.
really nice birthday wishes, and it's hard to believe. I mean, it was kind of audacious starting this thing. We're going to do this thing for and about the Iranian diaspora in English. A lot of people said can't be done. I remember this one person who was actually a friend of mine. With friends like these, a friend of mine who said, "Talk to me if you guys last more than 2 months."
Hello, friend.
Yeah, he was just kind of saying, "I don't think this is an idea that is going to catch on. What do you, who's going to listen? Who are these Iranians who are interested in conversations?" And here we are 4 years later, almost 21 million streams.
That's right.
And keeping very focused on our mission of doing long form content, trying to excavate real information about Iranian stories and the diaspora and beyond, talk about issues, and celebrate and discover new Iranian faces and names. And I dare say what we do now has become kind of normalized. It's like, there's a show about Iranians, and there's even some others doing what we do, and which is great. And I heard a stat that there's 4.6 million podcasts now in the world. You know how everyone has a podcast? Like you'll be like, yeah, I do this. We've got this Rook Media podcast. Oh yeah, my son has one. He's 5.
Definitely not comparable, but
So we, based on our numbers and our audience, are in the 0.1% of podcasts, which, if you think about it, given that nobody listens to most podcasts, it's not that much of an accomplishment to be in the top 1% or 0.1%.
I think considering there's 5-year-olds who have podcasts, yes, I would call that an accomplishment.
Oh yeah, my son has one too. He's 5.
Does your son have 21 million streams?
It wasn't
I'd
just.
like to
That's
ask.
right. Yeah. Let's shame the son, the 5-year-old. Does he have 21 million streams? And you can't just go by that, because there's influencers who get like 21 million, likes on a picture of themselves. But the fact that we're
Yes.
doing long form content and we're talking about those streams being on podcast platforms where people are listening to our show. And by the way, our listen through on Apple, Spotify, the average on our podcast platforms where most people are listening to this right now is 72%, which means
There you
like
go.
on a 2-hour show that we do, on an hour and a half show, they're listening to more than an hour of it. Who could ask for more?
See, they want to hear what we've got to say. That's what counts.
Who could ask for anything more? It wasn't just Rook's birthday. It was Super P.
Super P's birthday.
Parisa, Super P, Paris, Sanjarani. You have to say all of those names.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Super
birthday,
P.
Super P.
Merci.
What did you do for your birthday?
I didn't do anything.
Oh. All right. Let's move on.
I know Super P wasn't too excited about celebrating this birthday. We had
You're
this
not into
ageist
birthdays.
conversation.
No, I'm not into birthday.
Ugh.
Actually.
You're still in your 20s.
No, I
How could
never
you not
did.
be into birthdays in your 20s?
Even when I was 16, I wasn't really happy on my birthday day.
I kind of get it,
Really?
Yeah, for years I
No,
didn't even tell
I'm-
people when it was my birthday.
Oh, I'm polar
Like
opposite.
long before social media told you when it was the birthday. I just wouldn't tell people, and then I'd be really upset when everybody didn't remember. It's like the ultimate passive aggressive, like, I can't believe nobody did anything. Did you tell anyone it was your birthday? No, but they should have done something.
I have a birth month. I don't have a birthday.
Oh, you're
I'm
one of those people.
I celebrate
Oh,
like crazy.
the
Go out
spa.
with. Oh yeah,
Right.
every year.
Happy birthday, Super P. Tavalo. All right.
Put her
Singing
on the
for a
spot.
person who's not interested
Yeah.
in hearing happy birthday. Rook Live 2. I want to get to who our guests are because this is quite an episode of Rook. Both of them here in the Rook Studio coming in.
I'm very excited.
But first of all, Rook Live 2,
Coming up.
just a couple of weeks away. Theater Aurora. Tickets still available. I think most of the VIP tickets
Almost
are gone.
all of them. Yeah.
But there are still tickets available. Go to Eventbrite.
Event.
What is it?
Eventbrite.
Eventbrite.ca.
That's right. Search for Rook.
It's exhausting.
So you go to Eventbrite.
Just go to our Instagram, and in the bio, you can link to tickets.
That's
for
one way. Or
yeah.
if you know the website, Eventbrite, you
Yeah.
can go to eventbrite.ca.
HTTP
No, you don't need any
double
of
slash.
that. What year are we in? Eventbrite.ca, search for Rook. It's the first thing that comes up. Rook Live 2, May 7th.
It's not the first
See
thing
you
that comes
there.
up.
It is when you search
No, I
Rook.
tried that, and a couple other things
okay,
came
no,
up.
this is what happens with Eventbrite. So Eventbrite has these paid advertisements.
Oh.
So beyond the
Can we not be one of
advertisements-
those?
I don't know. We
We
can
have to
look into
pay?
it.
Alright,
I think
yeah.
Eventbrite has some crazy fees.
Okay.
But after the paid advertisements,
Yes.
the first event that comes up is Rook Live 2.
All right.
So you can click on it, get your tickets.
Rook Live 2, the sequel featuring Dr. K, the beloved Dr. K, who we've had on the show a couple of times. Whenever he's on the show, we literally get hundreds of thousands of streams because he's got so many fans around the world. He will be live at Theater Aurora with us, as will Najmet Hansaz, a boxer and fitness expert. First time we're going to have her on the show. Our very own, the fabulous Keon, will be there with
Yes,
you,
that's right.
doing the Rook Roundup, I should say, and two icons, two icons associated with Iranian music. First of all, Soliman Vasiri, the great singer, pop artist turned Sufi artist, or actually he was originally Sufi, then he went into pop, then he's technically anyway. What a wonderful man he is. What an
Such a
amazing
sweet man,
journey
yeah.
he's had. He is here now in Canada, and Soli will be on stage performing. I think he's going to do 2 songs
Wow.
with the great Babak Amini, our dear friend, the guitar virtuoso. Babak has been so busy doing so many different things over the last few weeks, but he will be part of Rook Live 2 at Theater Aurora with Soli. And coming in from London, England, Iraj Janati Atai.
Yes.
Janati Atai,
Janati Atai.
the great poet, songwriter, songsmith, a true icon.
Yes.
Now, there's something that we're doing that we're going to officially announce next Tuesday, which is 2 weeks before, but maybe I can say something about it right now.
A little bit.
At this Rook Live 2, we are going to begin something that we've been talking about for a long time that I've been wanting to do pretty much since we started Rook. And that is, I do not believe that we, in a sophisticated enough way, celebrate our icons, talk about the great people that we have in our Iranian, who are still with us around the world, who are of Iranian descent in various fields, whether it's the sciences, the sports, the arts, media, communications, etc. And so we are going to begin with these. These will be this will be the inaugural occasion where we hand out the Rook Media Iranian Icon Award.
Very excited for this.
Sponsored by Montroc, the Iranian Icon Award. And we have 2 icons who will be joining us on stage. And to each of them, we will be giving the Iranian Icon Award, basically inducting them into a kind of Iranian Icon Hall of Fame. Whether that becomes a physical Hall of Fame one day or something that lives on in digital form. These awards we'll be giving out that night, and we're very excited about that. And these two recipients, I think both septuagenarians, they've lived long, important lives in terms of what they've contributed to Iranian and Persian culture, and it's a big part of what we're going to do, and I'm happy about that.
And the part of it that I'm most excited about is that we're doing this when they are physically still with us. I think that's such an important piece, is that we're honoring these individuals, these icons, as they're still alive. And it's so important
and
that
hopefully
we do that.
they will be
and
for another 50 years.
And hopefully they will be for many, many years. But I just
Zabunet lol. Or no.
Zabunet Gazbegi. Right?
What's Zabunet lol?
I don't know.
No. Isn't that one of them as well?
No, Zabunet lol is also right, but it's...
But do you tell someone else Zabunet lol?
Oh.
It's not polite.
Zabunet Gazbegi.
Sure, that too.
I want to see you do it right now. Bite your tongue. How dare you?
No,
what do you mean if they're still with us? Of course they're still with us.
What I'm trying to say is that, Iranians, and I'm going to generalize for a minute, we tend to only recognize the importance and the value of these icons once they pass.
Posthumously.
Yeah.
Oh, Shajarian. We didn't.
Exactly. And I think it's wonderful that we're doing this while
they're still young.
Yeah, while they're still young. Exactly.
Oh, Pegah. Saving you here. All right. Rook Live 2.
Yes.
May 7th. Tickets still available. Eventbrite.ca/Rook.
That's right. No, not /Rook. Search for Rook. You're misleading people here. Eventbrite.ca.
Go to our website or go to our Instagram. You can find the link there. Today's show, I'm very excited. Two guests in the Rook Studio, one of whom we've never had on the show before. But first up, he's been on the show before, but not in person.
That's right.
He's waiting to come in. The Iranian-French pop sensation. He's got a voice of gold. He arranges his music. He writes. He's a monster musician himself. Kamyar. Now,
yes,
I love this guy. He's such a charming. Everything I've ever experienced with him is he's just a wonderful guy, and he's really, truly super talented. His voice has got to be one of the best voices in pop. It's not one of the Persian exaggeration sort of things. He really is that good. And I know that you've probably heard his music.
I have.
Because you listen to, what is it called? Radio Javan.
Radio Javan. The Radio Javan joke.
Yeah.
Yet again. Yes, I listen to Radio Javan. I enjoy Radio Javan.
Yeah.
Kamyar is one of the
Kamyar's
people I
on
listen
it.
to.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just knew, I know that if, the Rolling Stones were coming in, I'd be like, has
you
Pegah
listen?
ever heard of the Rolling Stones? But I know Kamyar.
Yes.
But Kamyar,
100%.
he is, he's a truly, truly talented guy. He's got a brand new song out called Dokhtar Shirazi.
Oh.
Self-explanatory.
Yes.
Shirazi girl, Shirazi woman. And he's in the midst of a crazy global tour. We're thrilled to have him here in the Rook Studio, so he will be here. And after him, the guitarist, the vocalist, the Iranian-British super talented guy who some people may know from the Sina Valiola show because he plays in that band. He gets a lot of airtime that way.
Right.
Siamak Mehr, coming into the Rook Studio. Also a wonderful guy.
Such a great voice.
I don't know if he's on Radio Javan a lot. So I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
I have heard of him. Of course I have. And I've listened to his music. Actually, my dad is a huge fan of his.
Oh.
Yeah. So
all
I
right.
have heard his music.
Is your dad listening?
He will be listening.
All right. C Mac Mehr joining us. We're going to do a roundup in between the two. So that'll be the palate cleanser.
I don't know if I'll call it that.
Oh, is it bad news?
We're going to be a little bit.
We're going to be talking about, maybe we should do both of them, have them come in both first and then talk about people dying here.
No, maybe it's good because then this way it's like there's going to be a pick-me-up after.
All right.
Yeah.
So Kamyar joining us in a few moments. He's going to come into the Roqe Studio. Then we'll do a little Rook Roundup and then Siamak Mehr.
That's right.
I went to, on the weekend, I went to a kalapache brunch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan, so that's as much as I can
Yeah,
give you.
the last time when we as a group went for kalapache, you weaseled your way out of it.
I did.
You skipped going.
I can't handle the smell. It bothers me.
I didn't even smell it. Like it was like.
Well, was it at a kalapache place or did you have it at someone's house?
No, we went to someone's house.
Okay, so that's different. It doesn't
a very
smell
nice
at someone's
house, and they. Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's not in the place that they're cooking it, and like there's all these,
Really, they didn't like slaughter the goose fan or whatever.
The place you guys went to with the team was like an actual kalapache place.
But it didn't smell that bad. I don't know. See, I'm not that familiar with the whole kalapache thing. My big takeaway, first of all, did you know that when you go to a kalapache brunch, who knew, right? That everyone's supposed to, all the women wear white.
Really?
Did you know that?
No, why?
Well, because I turned up and everybody was in white.
That.
And then I was like, was I supposed to wear white? And there's, it's okay, you're a dude, but all the women.
Is that a thing?
Apparently that's a thing.
Why though?
At kalapache parties.
But what's the
I have no idea.
Behind it?
I didn't do enough journalistic questioning. I was in shock. I was like, and they were all taking pictures. Everybody's in white.
You would think they would wear a color that doesn't get stained so
Right?
easily. Like why white?
What happens when the kalapache gets on the white outfit?
Yeah.
The lovely white outfits. Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's the first thing.
Okay.
The second thing is I'm starting to question what the big deal is about kalapache. This is my third or fourth time having it now.
Right.
Tastes great. What's the big deal?
I think. I mean, the big deal for
let
people
me
who
put
like
it this way: it's a lot better than modern talking.
Oh my god!
It's it's a lot more easy to consume than what is than the German.
It's been a while since we had
German
talked about
band
modern talking.
beloved by Iranians. Or Christopher Berg. Let me start. Don't get me started about Christopher Berg. No, so I had it. I enjoyed it. Everybody's like, oh, dari kalapache mizani. Like it's like even at the thing they were surprised. Oh, look at Jian eating kalapache. When I was a kid, my mom used to make us tongue. I mean, that's part of it, and then the other parts of the body.
Right.
Is it the idea that you don't like?
I don't know. For me, it's the smell. Honestly, anytime I've ever gone to a kalapache place, and I have gone because friends of mine also enjoy it, and they're always like, let's go. The smell bothers me, but I think it's also a mental thing. It's like you're thinking about the different parts of the animal you're eating, and like with.
Well, why do you? Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, do you think about when you're eating chicken fingers? Do you think about like?
But chicken fingers are like not actual chicken fingers. They're like
exactly.
I don't know. It's
so
a
you
mental
need
block.
the suspension of disbelief. You need to be thinking about something. You need to not know that you're eating an animal. Actually, I kind of get that. I kind of get that. For a long time, like my thing was, I'll eat an animal, but not if the head is like even a fish.
Exactly.
When the fish is like in the poor fish is like still looking up at me.
A good branzino is just
with the eyes, with the head,
and everything.
Oh, you see, I can't do that.
Yeah.
That's guilt. I look at the fish and the fish is looking up at me like, dude, I'm dead now. You did this to me. You're eating me. I don't, But kalapache, it's in a bowl. It's in a.
The head's not looking at you.
No, I mean, you eat something and then you go, oh, that was good. What was that?
Yeah.
That was the eye.
And then the guilt sets in.
Yeah. Oh, my son has a podcast. He's 3. What's your position on kalapache?
You can't see actually the eye. What do you mean by you don't know?
Well, you don't really see. You see sort of a round thing, and then you eat
that
some
is the eye.
You eat some things and go, oh, that was tasty. It was a little chewy, and they go, that's a brain. But here's the thing.
What's your favorite part of kalapache?
Not the pache. The kale.
The kale.
Yeah.
I like the kale.
The kale is really tasty. Parts of it, I gotta say. I mean, I'm all cannibal all of a sudden. I'm just like, this is.
Weren't you a vegetarian at some point?
For years, I was a vegetarian for years. And
how does one go from vegetarian to
let me tell you
kalapache?
this. The doctor, I did all these like yearly blood tests and everything like that. I work out every day, and I don't smoke. I don't really drink that much, So the doctor is like, oh, your blood tests are good, you're fine, but we got a bit of a problem here, And I'm like, what's that? And you got some. I don't want to say this because now my mom's gonna know. My mom listens to the show. I'm trying to hide this from her.
I think it's not bad though. You make it sound so much worse than it is.
Well, so they said you got your cholesterol is growing a little too much. Like it's getting a little high, right? And you might have to take these pills, the statin, whatever it is. So you take a pill for if this continues, because you don't want to to deal with your cholesterol.
Yeah.
And so my doctor goes, my doctor's like, the thing is, I would say that this is something about your lifestyle choices, in terms of like what you're eating, or you're not exercising, but I know that you're really good about all of that, right? And I said, well, yeah, I mean, I work out. And he's like, yeah, I know you exercise all the time. And I said, yeah. And I go, I don't really drink or smoke that much. Yeah. He says, yeah. He goes, and you eat fine. And I'm like,
let's backtrack on that one.
And then I realized I think because I've been working out so much, so I don't wear the food, I don't gain the weight. I've been eating horribly. Like I eat like he was like, well, no, I mean, everyone can have a burger and fries once in a while. And I was like, like every day.
Do you eat out and
when I thought about it, I've been eating like a lot of French fries. Even when I'm home, I have no compunction about making like a 4-egg omelet. Like I'm a lot of Persian food. I gotta think Kalapache has some cholesterol issues, because red meat is an issue, right?
Yeah.
Fried stuff, red meat, dairy. It's all the things,
the yummy things,
the things like 1,000 times. I've probably done literally 200 interviews about how to eat healthily and be healthy, and so I know all of this stuff intuitively, but I think I kind of forgot. I was like, oh, everything's great, I'm working out, and let's go for KFC.
But it's not so bad. I mean, I'm sure if you stop
and
having...
the other thing is, Super P, who's my right hand person,
right?
She's a bad influence, because
why?
Oh, you?
Why?
But trust me, you're lucky you're still in your 20s. This Super P, she's just like, I've never seen someone eat the way she eats. It's constantly like...
I never see her eat anything.
No, believe me. First of all, she eats really fast.
Okay.
Whatever's in front of her, it's gone. And
That's
it's like,
true.
it's daily, like McDonald's burgers, like fried fish, fried, if it's Persian food, it's like bad Persian, like the stuff that's really chabby,
Persian food's always healthy.
Even right now that you're talking, I'm starving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you hungry for?
I ate my lunch today.
What did you have?
As soon as I got here, I had my lunch.
Okay.
So right now I'm really hungry.
What did you have today?
You're talking
Let me guess.
You're talking about food for 15 minutes.
But I think you're a bad influence on me. I think
I mean, to be fair, she has a totally different metabolism. If she's having
she's a
McDonald's
completely different
day,
human. No, I know. But she's in my proximity, so I smell the McDonald's and I'm like, oh, well, I'm working out, so why don't I have some?
I'm so happy that I've never seen her eat all that, because I would be like, order me a poutine.
Oh, didn't you see her at pub night last night?
Yes, the fish and chips she ordered. That looked really good,
that's
actually.
That's her thing.
No, I have to admit that I eat a lot.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
No, it's not just it's not that you eat a lot. It's what you eat. This Super P. Anyway, so I don't know where the Kalapache fits in my new... Now I have to be careful.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm Kamyar. It's like we have like a superstar.
And we're talking about
and we're talking about my cholesterol. What's cholesterol in Persian?
Cholesterol, something like that. I'm not sure.
Cholesterol.
Do you not know?
No.
Really, we don't know?
I think it's cholesterol.
I bet you Kaveh knows. Watch this. Can you call
okay.
methodical Kaveh? I bet you he'll. Don't tell him we're asking what we're asking. Oh, he's gone.
I'm actually interested to know. I thought it was just because it's a medical term. It's just cholesterol.
Isn't medical? Okay,
you
didn't tell him, right?
No, I
Watch
didn't.
this. This guy's like a genius with this stuff. Hi, Kaveh.
Hello, sir.
Come down to the microphone. Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, no, you got to go right up to the microphone. Not that much of a genius. What am I talking about?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. What is the Persian word for cholesterol?
Cholesterol.
See, that's what I thought.
Oh, okay. Get out of here. What a comment. I could have guessed that. Cholesterol.
You just have to say it.
What's
with
the Persian
right
word for
cancer?
Cancer.
No, actually.
No, I know it's
Sarah.
saraton. I know, but there's got to be a Persian word. It's not cholesterol. Cholesterol.
Now I need to Google this.
All right. Thanks, Kaveh. I built him up, the genius.
I know.
I thought he'd come up with some,
No, but I'm Googling it.
Google
and
it.
just
We're
says,
coming to you on rookmedia.com. You can link to all of our platforms from our website, rookmedia.com, where you can get tickets for Rook Live 2, Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Instagram, CastBox. If you want to see visuals, go to our YouTube if you haven't joined our YouTube yet. And Rook descriptions and bulletins. If you like them in Persian, our Telegram channel is more in Persian. You can check that out. Did you find anything?
I did, but I can't read this. My
Oh.
Farsi skills are not this level Farsi.
Oh, so now we have to bring Kaveh back to
Yeah, have Kaveh read this now.
Where's Kaveh? Bring him back. Oh, my God.
Do you
Kamyar.
really want to bring?
Yeah.
Well, he's going to have to come in and read this.
It's not cholesterol.
No, it's not.
It's not. And I thought of asking Savi Roham, who actually does all the translation stuff for us, and I actually deferred to Kaveh. Okay, Kaveh, get on the microphone with Pegah here.
Here.
He's come into the studio now.
We Googled it.
It's not. What does that say? Get on the mic there. What's cholesterol in Persian? There's like Iranians screaming at the podcast right now. Go move on already, guys.
It's Arabic.
Oh.
See, and here I am.
You
thinking
didn't even
it's 'cause
know
my
that was
Farsi's
Arabic?
not good.
Oh,
But
so
it
it's
says Madeh something. The rest of it is in Arabic? Okay.
so it's not Persian.
Okay.
Did you do English to Persian?
No, I Googled it. and
Try
that's the
English
first
to
thing.
Persian.
When I do English to Persian, it just comes cholesterol,
Oh.
but written in
Well, that's
Farsi.
what Kaveh said. He's a genius, I tell
See?
you. Super P said in the beginning cholesterol, and I distrusted her.
I know.
Yeah.
And on her birthday.
You have trust issues with
Her
me.
birthday was a couple days ago.
Still, it's her
birthday was
birthday.
like 5 days ago.
It's still her birthday in my books.
All right. That's right. She's birthday month.
Birthday month.
Yeah. Well, except she doesn't want it. She
I
doesn't want the
know.
birthday month. All right. Pegah, you'll be back for the
Yes.
roundup. We spent too much time on this stuff. Let's get to our featured guest today. My featured guest is one of our favorites, a talented star, an Iranian-French singer-musician based in Las Vegas. If you are a fan of Iranian pop, you have heard his dynamic voice, and you may have heard it very recently with his brand new single that is dominating the Persian pop world. Take a listen to this.
دختر شیرازی جونم دختر شیرازی ابرو تو به من بنما تا شبم راضی ابرومو میخوای چه کنی بی حیا پسر کمون تو بازار ندیدی اینم مثل اونه ولیکن نرخش گرونه شبی یا روز نیستم خونه دختر شیرازی جونم
There you go. Little taste of Dokhtar Shirazi, a brand new single from the very talented and popular Kamyar. Born in Tehran, raised in Paris, Kamyar started playing the piano from a young age, attended a classic conservatoire in Paris, honing his piano skills. But when attending the Sorbonne for an English degree, his singing voice became more and more of what he was known for. In 2003, he relocated to LA to venture into the Persian music industry, soon joining the legendary band Black Cats. After that, he embarked on a solo journey, releasing his debut album Dobare. He's influenced by R&B, by Middle Eastern music, by folk music. He's a Stevie Wonder devotee like me, for which I will always appreciate him. Kamyar has just been doing a number of tour dates in Germany, London, Stockholm, Houston. We're very lucky to have him in the Rook Studio here in Toronto for the first time. Kamyar joins me now. Hello, sir.
Hello, sir, Mr. Jian.
خسته نباشی.
Merci, خیلی ممنون. So we're speaking Farsi,
No, we're speaking English. That was just a formality.
Yeah, I love
That's
it.
all I know. خسته نباشی. Sad sal bein
Little
sal.
spice.
Saat began. That's all I know. So Germany, London, Stockholm, Houston, Toronto. It's great routing. It makes a lot of sense. It's,
in Gothenburg too.
Gothenburg. So you've been all over the place.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Many hotels, many planes, trains. It was, I think, from far, it was the best tour I had for many reasons. First of all, I don't know, I felt my relation change with the crowd. It went to another level. It was more something that...
More intimate relationship.
More intimate, more spiritual, more intense. The communication, it's like I discovered myself again. And I never was so passionate on stage. I don't know, I think everything went through another level. I don't know, I feel like after COVID and a lot of stuff that happened, I had real concerts again, finally, a real aid tour, and I realized where I was. I realized all the hard work we did, especially with my wife, who's my full-time manager, best manager I ever had in my life, and she's Shirazi.
That's in the contract, right? You have to say that.
It's not in the contract.
She's sitting across the other side of the glass, so you can.
Yeah.
I don't think you could say anything else.
No, I
but
can't.
she does seem like a pretty good manager. These are great gigs. What do you mean by you rediscovered yourself? What do you think of when you say that?
Because it was just very intense between me and the crowd. The communication, we were all blending. It was, I don't know, like everyone was singing my song. It's like almost like I forgot who I was. It made me really humble.
You mean you forgot how? I mean, forgive me. Please don't be modest. You forgot how beloved you are. Is that what you mean? Like that you have fans who love you?
I think it's a part of that, but also I think they show reaction. Like it was true love. It was not only because I'm a star. It was like we were living the moments together. It was so intense, and really, I had tears sometimes. It would make me like feel even shy, which is a very good sign.
That's an amazing, what a great thing to say. I mean, at the same time, you guys, right before we started recording, you were saying that you live in Vegas, Las Vegas. You haven't been back for 4 months.
Yes.
That's pretty intense.
Yes.
I mean, it's great that you're traveling with your life partner, so that makes it easier. You don't miss her, but that's a lot of suitcase travel.
A lot of suitcase. Sometimes people ask us, where do you live? It takes me 30 seconds to really give an answer. Sometimes I look at my wife like, I guess between Las Vegas and Paris, and then I can, when I talk to French people, when I say I live between Las Vegas and Paris, I want to avoid that sentence, because when you say Las Vegas in France, it sounds like movies, like, oh, what he's trying to say, yeah, sure, Las Vegas, it's not even a city you can live with. It's like as if you want to show off. So it makes me really uncomfortable to say Las Vegas.
And you have children, by which I mean 2 dogs.
We have
that
2.
are in Vegas that you've välkat. You haven't and then the dogs are sitting there.
Yes.
And they're obviously not going to be. How are they going to greet you when you finally return?
A lot of licky.
Or anger. Where have you been? Where are our treats? What's
True.
been, you go off and do these glamorous gigs. We're sitting here without you.
But I can take advantage with what you say and tell you the difference between dogs and human. If they were human, they would show anger. But since their love is unconditional,
that's true.
They will still welcome us and love us.
That is so true. I can't. When my dog, somebody takes a picture of my dog waiting during the day for me, sitting there all day.
Yeah.
It just melts my heart. Nobody will ever love me like that.
I know.
Except my dog. It's just it's so incredible. That's why I love dogs.
Yeah.
And why I hate cats.
No. yeah.
I know the cats can also be very affectionate, but I've never seen that. I'm a dog person, not a cat person.
Yeah. Cats depends where the wind blows. How do you say?
You see? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're a dog person.
Yeah. No, I love cats, but I'm allergic to
Me too.
to cats like big time. Even though I was a black cat myself.
That's right. You do have a cat connection. We'll get to that. دختر شیرازی.
Oh.
Now your wife is a دختر شیرازی, right?
100% Shirazi, and the first time I met her, I said, "Be careful. I might be Shirazi. I'm a batch Sadi. I'm from Sadi."
I don't know what that means. I have
That
to
means
tell
she's
you,
a gangster from.
you're gonna have to explain this to me, because I think people who grew up in Iran, what she's making faces at you, right? The people who grew up in Iran will know what this means to be Shirazi, Dokhtar Shirazi.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that Shiraz was the epicenter of arts and culture. I know about the Shiraz Arts Festival. I know it's a very beautiful cultural place. It's sort of in the south. It's not far, or sort of part of Khuzestan, where my dad was from. But I don't really know what Dokhtar Shirazi means. So tell me.
Dokhtar Shirazi, I mean, I'm lucky to be married to one. First of all, they are beautiful.
Okay.
دستپختشون خیلی خوبه.
Okay.
So when they cook, oh my God.
I can hear the Tabrizi girls burning your records now, saying, "What about us?"
No. I love them too. It just happened that I got married to a Shirazi girl. And myself, I'm from Tehran, so we're all good. I'm also Kurdish from Mohabbat.
The Kurds.
Turkish. I'm also Turkish
You're
from.
covering all the. Are you going to do Dokhtar Kurd, Dokhtar Tehrani?
Of course, that's just the beginning. I had to start with my wife, of course, but we're gonna.
But this is it's a traditional folk song, is it? Dokhtar Shirazi, or
yes.
Okay, tell me. What?
Yeah, I even asked my AI, ChatGPT 4. I even pay subscription for it to be smarter, and ask him.
The ChatGPT wrote the song.
He heard of it. Yeah. He did a big search. It took half an hour to listen. I think it was. We don't know who wrote it. No, honestly, most of the folk songs, it's like maybe 100 years ago. Nobody knows who wrote it. So, but there are some versions that became a little bit famous that represent them, but everyone was singing it, I think, 100 years ago. But I heard the first time Dokhtar Shirazi through one of my favorite childhood singer, pretty original, Khanum Pari Zangene, who was one of the first opera singer, who was also singing a lot for kids too, not only kids, but she started singing a lot of Mahalli songs with her opera voice. And for some reason, I fell in love with Mahalli songs because she sings a lot of Mahalli songs. So Dokhtar Shirazi is one of them. And the real thing is that, especially after I got married and I introduced my wife, she does it. Even when she was my girlfriend, people right away when I walk into a party, she's Shirazi. Okay, Dokhtar Shirazi, why don't you sing that? For years that happened. I was like, you know what? I just have to officially record that song, and now people know about it.
You've redefined it for a new generation. Yeah. Is there how did you do the arrangement for that? Who does is that like that whole groove and everything that it's quite infectious? Is that you? Where did that come from?
So for this song, I wanted to collaborate with other producers, but for some reason it did not work out. So I did all myself.
Nice.
Because I felt it was the perfect song. I only arrange and produce songs that I feel I could do a better job for myself. Not that I'm better than others, but for some songs I decide to produce them myself. This one is one of them because it's a real fusion of soul R&B, when you hear the beat, the kick, the snare, and some gospel influence.
Meaning you did all that?
Yeah, all.
Wow.
A to Z.
Where did you record it?
In Las Vegas, mostly. Yeah.
Dokhtar Shirazi recorded in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. I think the vocals I did in Las Vegas. The arrangement was a little bit everywhere.
Do you feel more of a proprietary sense? Do you feel more I don't want to say more proud, but but do you feel more more ownership or pride in a song that you've done all the arrangements for, etc., and the recording?
I mean, I have to say yes. I would lie if I say no. Even though when I accept someone else producing my song, it's because I love the song so much that it's as if I produced it myself, and that's why I would take it. Like Asani Vazi, I really love it because the arrangement, everything was so in harmony. I feel like I did the production. But when I do the production and it becomes a hit, of course, what you feel is, oh my God, that was me, and wow, it's my kid.
That's pretty validating.
خودم زاییدم بچه رو.
Maybe that's part of what the discovering yourself over the last month. You put that song out too,
Yes.
and it's
Well, it's very good that you say that, because you remind me, one of the main reason I wanted to answer you is I was not, when I sang that song for the first concert, Frankfurt, then Gothenburg, I mean, usually whatever hits I have, usually most of people, and that could sometimes irritate me even though I'm proud, but they were like, oh, Khanum Koja. They would say other hits too, but Khanum Koja, it's like kind of the Michael Jackson's Billie Jean for me. It's like, it was always there. It's the, you know,
it's not June Khodet?
It's June Khodet, but a lot of people honestly don't know it by June Khodet.
Oh, they call it
Khanum Koja. And I have to say something. When we're in Black Cats, we had a big meeting about it. I was really against June Khodet. I was like, listen, the title of the song,
just call it the thing that everybody sings.
Yes,
right?
Yes. You know, like Billie Jean, she kept saying Billie Jean, not my. I say one part of June Khodet, and I promise 90% of the people who maybe it's the favorite song don't necessarily know it's June Khodet. They say even Dokhtar Irani, Khanum Koja, Khanum Yavash, whatever. So everybody usually requests Khanum Koja, and from Frankfurt, I would hear screaming, like, and it was like just maybe 1 week, few days it came out. So I was not expecting anything. Dokhtar Shirazi, Dokhtar Shirazi. At the point I was like, excuse me, what did you say? I was so happy, like a kid. I was so excited, like, what? I forgot I'm Kamyar. Like, it's like, Dokhtar Shirazi, the song that I just released, you know? My wife was laughing. I was like, yeah. And then the next concert, and then everyone, Dokhtar Shirazi from start. I was like, yes. I was so happy.
You know, Nirvana famously didn't want to play Smells Like Teen Spirit because that was the song they were so identified with, and Radiohead didn't want to ever play Creep. Like, it's that first really big hit, it becomes a bit of an altitude, a weight on your shoulders. It's like, dude, I'm so much more than that, you're saying to the audience. But I like that all of your hit songs have to do with women and girls that you're from various parts of Iran, and which explains the front. You know, in all of your videos, all of the people in the front, I don't ever see any guys. It's usually yes, men do come to your concerts, right?
Oh, that's what you meant. Okay, men come to my concerts, but I guess
I'm assuming they do, but they just don't rush up to the front.
Exactly, or maybe the ladies don't allow them to,
or maybe the videographer is focusing on the.
No, it's true. There's I got that comment. How come you have so many ladies? I was like, I don't know. It's a blessing.
Yes, it's hard being.
And grandmas too.
Oh, that's lovely.
I love grandmas.
People of different generations.
Yeah,
that's great.
And honestly, I can tell you something. My wife say, one of the things she say, because she's really not a jealous type, and I think that's why it's working. You say, what I recognize about you is that even the flirtatious way you have to when you sing on stage, I admit the amount of love you give from a kid to a beautiful girl to a grandmother to a grandfather to a man to whatever is exactly the same. You look at that the same way. I was like, yeah, that's damn true.
That's lovely.
I love you, baby. Thank you for noticing this.
That's nice. Is that a...
It looks like you disagree, though. I'm just kidding.
No, I don't disagree. I was more thinking that Dokhtar Shirazi, so they're not Hasudi. They're not jealous people, the Dokhtar Shirazi. I'm trying to learn more about what the stereotypical Shirazi person is.
I would never say that Dokhtar Shirazi are not jealous. My wife is not the jealous type, but according to her, I think 50% why my wife is not jealous is because she's not necessarily the jealous type of woman. She has self-confidence, but there's another 50% that is still could affect me, and she could become jealous, but because that's her words, because I give her that security, especially with my status, with my work, and this is why I cover the other 50%.
What about you? Are you a Ghairati Iranian man who, if you're on stage and you see her chatting with some guy at the side of the stage, do you stop the concert and?
Well,
the show's called Rook. You know, you have to be honest. Yeah.
I'm fucking Rook.
Okay.
I'm Rook as hell. No, I have no ru darvasi. I think regarding Ghairat, I don't see Ghairat. I mean, for me, غيرت and jealousy could be still different because jealousy for me, the real jealousy is it could come from lack of self-confidence in reality.
For sure.
At least that's how, in my dictionary, that's how I feel it in my body, in my sense. I never really felt jealous of another man or her interacting, just talking to another man. It's not the part that affects me if there's a disrespect. That means I feel like she's pure, everything is okay, but the person that is talking to her have other intention and she's not seeing it, or the person is being stupid, or the person is doing something on purpose to piss me off.
Is possessive? How about possessive? Does that work?
No.
No? You're not possessive?
Because she's mine already. I don't have any doubt. Yeah, try me.
I think that makes you possessive if you say she's mine.
No, because our heart it's so natural. I don't need to prove it that she's mine.
You trust, you believe. Yes, I got it. Okay.
It's pure trust. Let me tell you, actually, I get more jealous with my friends. Like I don't know, if my friend don't give me the attention I want. I don't know. It's funny. I get more jealous with that.
Well, like what kind of attention?
I like I don't know. I'm like a kid sometimes. Like, you know. I mean, I want her attention too. I think it's if I get jealous, it's more because I just want to communicate with someone.
Okay.
And if I don't get that time to communicate, to just be a kid, to just, you know, talk, but it has nothing to do with your mind or anything like that, you know.
All right. Well, you were speaking about being in Sweden. When you were in Sweden, something else happened, something less, on a less happier note.
Yes.
It coincided with, it was right after Nowruz Day, or it was actually it was Nowruz Day, I think, that we learned of the passing of our dear Faramarz Aslani. And you were doing a show, I think, the next day, and you did this beautiful and very emotional version of Agayaruz. We could see the emotion in you, that sort of went viral because it all happened in the first 24 hours. You were one of the first people to actually, you know, perform or do something. Tell me about how you reacted when you heard the news about Faramarz.
It was unbelievable for me. I needed a lot of time to process it. I could not believe it. I thought it was wrong. I kept checking my Instagram everywhere. It was at first really horrible. I was like, God, not him, because I truly loved Faramarz Aslani. Like, no joke. Like,
you're not the only one.
No, and I'm not the only one.
He connection.
He was so different, and especially for a singer like me who grew up in outside of Iran with a style that is originally completely different with the Persian pop style. And I was always looking for styles that are completely different. I was always so proud to hear, I'm looking for somebody who sings the Farsi language but with a complete different style, or Spanish, Latin, or for me he was the Julio Iglesias of Iran. He was like with a guitar, and he was the reason why so many people learned playing guitars. Since I was a kid, I was saying to my parents, why is he so different? Oh my God, I love it. With this, you fall in love for his voice, because Faramarz Aslani, when he sings, he means it.
Yes.
He doesn't try to do anything.
You believe him.
Yes. He doesn't try to do any extra notes to impress you. Everything is perfect. Everything is the right amount. And when he passed away, I mean, I was like, guys, I don't feel comfortable going on stage and leaving the stage. And we were in Stockholm, and I just learned it. And I think it was the first day of after New Year. I believe so.
Yeah, well, it was yes. I mean, I think it was March 21st, which is traditionally the first day of spring kind of thing. So it was right around Nowruz.
Yeah. And I had a little meeting just before going on stage. Guys, we have to do that song somehow. We didn't practice, nothing. So that was really hard. But it's like, I don't care if we do mistakes or whatever. But and then I had so many party songs. I was like, I don't know what to do. And then I realized I was singing Tomi Tuni, which was really very emotional song. And I was like, the only thing I can do, I need to link Tomi Tuni somehow. We need to improvise. Let's not think about it. Keep the groove. I don't know what we're gonna do, but let's keep the song Tomi Tuni that I sang with Sharm Shapare. Same beat, same BPM, and let's go to Tomi Tuni. And I had to prepare to Age Yeruz, yeah. And then I was like, oh my God, I was scared because I was like, oh my God, I feel I'm going to cry at some point in the song. So I don't know.
Which you did, right?
But it happened much earlier. I started crying. I couldn't even talk. When I was introducing the song, I was like, oh my God, what's going on with me? I had to breathe. And then I've said to the crowd, well, I'm going to try to interpret that song, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but I count on you. Please sing with me if I can't. And I mean, you know what happened. Then I just remember the verse. I was like completely destroyed, depressed. And I saw my video when I wanted to go to the chorus. I did a movement with my body. I came back like that. I swear you could pay attention. I invite people to pay attention. Right before I go to the chorus, I did a movement like, that's it. Come back, do it for Faramarz. And I was like, and finally I start singing really like, I do it for you, you know.
Yes,
and it was
really
a
powerful.
Yeah.
Did you know him personally? Were you guys friends?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Yes, I know him. I think I didn't even start with Black Cats. It was before I joined Black Cats. It was Kamran Human still. They were the singer. I saw him at a party and I was like, oh my God.
This is when you've moved to LA, early 2000s, yeah.
Yes, I think it was even before I officially moved to LA. I was just coming. I was sleeping at Shahbaz Shapare's house in the kitchen, actually.
Wow.
In the kitchen.
We'll get to Shahbaz because he's another amazing human, you know.
Of course.
But so you would have at that point obviously known who Faramarz is.
Oh my God!
And
of course.
And so you see him at a party.
Yeah, I saw him in a party, but he exactly was how I imagined it. He's what he's singing, what you feel about his voice. This is Faramarz Aslani, and that's when it creates a miracle. His personality, he's so sweet. He's such a pure, the true definition of a gentleman.
Yes,
the one who is not trying. He's not making efforts. This is who he is.
Yes,
and that for me was so inspiring as an artist, which is always the definition of an artist. It's not only about singing. It's when everything, the way you walk, the way you talk, everything is making sense. And that's beautiful. And he heard my music that never came out actually for some reason. Was Hezar Yek Shab. In French was Mille et une Nuits. Anyways, but we readapted in Farsi. One day I will release it. He heard it. I was like, I did these songs. I don't know why I felt.
He heard it where?
On my headphone. I took him
to
the room.
You played it for him?
Yeah, yeah. What do you think? Oh, it's nice. I said, you know what? When I did that song, I always picture you singing it because it's a very down-to-earth song. Yeah, you know? And I can just maybe sing, not sing, but just act like I'm singing just a few sentences, and maybe you understand why it made me feel a Faramarz Aslani in a way, because it's kind of the story of my life. It's about being rich, but in the heart, not necessarily with money. So it's lyrics that I wrote in French, and then with my mom, we readapted in Farsi. So, and I always thought of him. I was like, he could sing that, you know. It was something like فقیر ترم از گدا غنی ترم از یه شاه با احساس قلبیم با لبخند شرقیم ندارم تخت شاهی ندارم گنج الماس به جز دیوان شعرم به مستی به آواز. You know, it's like I'm richer than a king in my heart, but even though I might be poor.
Why have you never released that?
Because, you know, this song is so special for me. When it's very special, I'm scared to release them if it's not doing justice. I feel it has to be the right time where it's going to be understood, the right concept, the right me in the right stage of mind. It has to be honest. So it has to match.
And so do you keep in touch with Faramarz over the years? Did you ever perform together?
Yes, I believe we had one or two concerts together where really felt honored. But I will never forget one of his concerts. That was a very VIP type of concerts when it was only three guitar players, and it's a VIP place. I don't know, like it was very how do you call it? Very cozy concert. Maybe just 200 people sitting, and he invited me. I was not expecting that. It was in LA. I don't know if it was in Black Cats yet. I think I just started being with Black Cats, and he had great guitar players at that time. It was maybe 15, 16 years ago, maybe more, 18 years ago, and I sang "Hello" from Lionel Richie. And
you love that song.
Oh yeah, because I love Stevie Wonder, I love Lionel Richie, and "Hello" was one of the symbolic song for me to practice. It was my audition songs when I would do casting auditions left and right. This song would represent me because the way I interpret it is so personal, and you know.
Can I ask you a question? If you can put something of a musicologist hat on, you know, you're somebody who's observed the Persian music from different angles yourself. You know, Faramarz, everyone talks about how influential he was. There's so many people. Siamak Mehr, of course, the great guitarist and vocalist. He plays in the Sina Valiola show.
Yeah.
He talked about how he was inspired to play the guitar because of Faramarz. Peyman Salimi, I started playing guitar because of Faramarz Aslani. Different artists say I started singing because of Faramarz Aslani. And I went to the memorial in Washington, D.C., and Dariush was on stage and said what we all know. He said, you know, what set Faramarz apart is that he wrote the songs, he arranged the song, or he wrote the lyrics, he wrote the music, and he sang them, you know, and he played the guitar, etc. With all of that said, I don't see a lot of people in the Iranian music space doing what he did. In other words, we don't see that many, at least of the last 30, 40 years, and even in the last 20 years, we don't see as many singer-songwriters. There's a few. There's sort of like an Ali Azimi or something who plays the guitar and sings, but it isn't, for all that everybody says how influential he was because of who he was and what he did, we don't see that musically as much in Iranian music. Do you have a theory as to why?
Because I think he felt confident with just few guitars and doing that, and that was enough for people to love it, and other people with that style feel that they need the production for it to become a hit. It's not, but for him, one guitar was enough, especially back in the time. And I think back in the time that music was even much more welcome, because it's not only in his style, even in other style, you felt freer to do real music, authentic music. And today you need to think more about it, and oh my God, and the quantity. We have so many singers now. We have good stuff, but we have a lot of trash too. So it becomes very, it's like,
also you've got to be good. If it's just you and an acoustic, and you do this, you do it with you and a piano.
I do that with
and
piano.
And you're so good that you can pull that off. Maybe that's part of it, that some folks have to hide behind a bunch of production, which you don't have to do. I don't know.
Exactly. I think to go behind a piano and vocally you want to deliver a song, project, you need a lot of self-confidence. And I think my story, how I started music, it was so authentic.
In the cafeteria at the
Sorbonne, and singing so many years in the streets of Paris. I think we talked about it before. Or
I don't know if we talked about the streets of Paris.
British, say, busking. You know, I made my first penny singing in the streets. At Montmartre. I would play in the train station with a hat, and that's while I was at the Sorbonne, even before. So that's how, as a professional, I started to sing in a crowd that did not choose me, and I did not choose them, but you had to be very strong. It was the best school for me. So when you become real this...
I did busking myself.
Really?
That's why when I was in a band in the 90s, we started by being buskers. And it's the greatest...
school?
It's the greatest school because the audience will not stay there unless they're interested. You know, there's no
Yes.
obligation. They're not in a theater.
Oh
they're
my
not in a
God.
club. They haven't paid. They're just standing on the street, and they got things to do. So
Yes.
you either keep them there, and if you're not
Oh,
good
yeah.
enough, they'll walk away.
Oh,
so it's
yeah.
it really is a great school. You know, it's
So what you're saying, basically, it's the synonym of the truth. This is the truth that is happening, whatever it is, from someone who knows music, who doesn't know music, but this is, whatever happens, if someone stops, it's so real, it's not fake. In the streets, you learn to not fake it, to be you. So that's what if I sing in front of thousands of people or 10 people, it's the same. And I think that's the truth when I'm behind a piano. It's because it's authentic, and I get extremely emotional when I sing behind a piano, to a point that sometimes I'm scared. And because once I'm done playing piano, I feel vibration in my body, and I swear, and I'm not joking, it could be very scary. It could tremble, even my face, everything. If
wow.
انگار مورچه دارم همه جا دارم میره, to the point that I could maybe lose consciousness, you know. I get very scared, and when I'm done performing on piano, I'm emotionally scared of the reality when I come back.
Wow.
It's like my soul is going out of my body when I play it, and when I come back, I mean it's
So you're not thinking when you perform?
No.
You're not thinking where are my hands going on the piano? Where's my next? I got to hit this note. Like that's all in rehearsal, and then you just go.
It's very rare, but sometimes when I go, I feel my body is leaving my soul is leaving my body, or cannot stand my body, and this is when I feel like the body is just a cloth, something to wear that is maybe too.
A vessel.
Yeah.
Wow.
And sometimes I have to be careful because I feel I'm gonna faint.
Pass out. Wow.
Yeah. So that's when I have to go. Okay, calm down. Yeah.
You know, sort of on that note, I mean, when someone like Faramarz Aslani dies, and when he dies suddenly, he's suddenly gone.
Yeah.
It is a bit of a reality check for mortality.
Yes.
You know, you sort of go, oh, okay. Not only are a bunch of these icons that are all older, you know, in the Iranian music, they're going to go, but we all are. I mean, if
Yes.
you know, Faramarz Aslani, as I did a little essay afterwards, said, you know, he was one of those that you thought was eternal. You can't
Yes.
imagine him being gone. You know,
No, you can't.
There's some getting older. You go, okay, that person's, you know, unfortunately going to pass on at some point. But him, I just thought, and he looked the same for so many years. This handsome, you know, guy, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm reading too much into it, but you did this interesting post about a month ago on your Instagram. You know where I'm going with this?
I think I
you
know.
said you want to live each day like it's the last. This is actually before Faramarz died. It wasn't.
Yes.
I don't think it had anything to do
Before.
with it. You said like you only have one more day to live. You know, why was that on your mind?
Because to be very honest, I don't know which these 5 past years we keep losing people more and more, like very close people to me. Maybe it's like people that I love and they're getting old. I keep losing people that are super close to me. Like now I'm feeling it, and even artists are leaving us, and I just cannot believe it. Also, the death of Bijan Mortazavi's wife, Setare, who during The Voice we lived with her. We could not believe it because we were hugging these people.
Yeah.
They were so real, and we're experimenting with my wife the death of so many people that we're so close to. I had 2 people. They were like my uncles. I grew up. They were giving me like chimigan milk. پستونک چی بچه بودن منو بغل میکردن. I don't know why I felt for them. They're Baboli. I felt speaking Farsi. And the 2 brothers went, and I grew up with them. I had them in my house until a few months ago, every day. Both passed out. And it's like life wants to tell me something about death, and I realize I'm extremely scared of death.
Are you?
And what's after. You know, like, is there, because I want to believe that there's a soul, there's I think I'm scared of the no consciousness after death, which I'm
What
like,
happens to you? Where
Yeah.
is Kamyar? Yeah,
exactly.
I have that feeling.
I have a problem with my identity and nothing. And I think I believe in a consciousness before, and it's a mix of believing in it, and I hope for that, because I'm like, if there's no consciousness, what's the point of all this? Who cares then? You know? Okay, I want to leave at the moment.
But your question was an interesting one. Because the question you posed on your site. I mean, I don't know if maybe other people just kind of thought, oh, this is fun, I'll answer it. But for me, I was kind of like,
Yeah.
wonder why he's thinking about this. Your question was, can you imagine if you're not going to live another day?
Yeah, who?
And you just stopped at that, and it was like, okay, well, so presumably it's something about living in the
Yes,
moment, right?
living
It's
in the
appreciating
moment.
the moment.
Like say Omar Khayyam, he always talk about living in the moment and not
Can
thinking
you do
of
that?
tomorrow. Well, I am doing that. I want to enjoy every moment, and this is why, and appreciate all the good things and not focusing on the negative, because the more and more I see people who are living in a prison and just focusing on the negative when they can enjoy the positive. And when you enjoy the positive, the negative disappear. They don't even matter. They don't exist anymore. And I sometimes, this is the philosophy of my life. If it's raining, if I don't have a roof, and I swear to God, I was always like that. And because maybe of my dad, he always was like that. My dad is a big engineer. He saw luxury. He saw everything. He had a tough life. And in any situation, my dad, even if he had to sleep in the kitchen, on the floor or whatever, I swear to God, he's as much happy as if he doesn't care if he's in a 5-star hotel or whatever. And I see people suffering with little things. I'm like, sometimes I get irritated, but I get irritated for them. It's like, I don't know who said prosperity is at the corner. Some American, I learned that at school. Some political guy.
Okay.
And I see happiness is at the corner. It's right here. It's just if it rains, it could be beautiful.
How do you practice that? Is there a way that you put that into practice, that kind of thought?
I used to practice it more for it to become more natural, but then when you don't need to practice it, that's when it's so natural. It's going to be beautiful. But I might have reminders. I call them like spiritual reminders, but it's just that the only practice is whenever it becomes very hard, I smile, because I always say even the first seconds when you smile and it's fake, it does not matter. Still smile, because the 10 next seconds is going to start becoming true, because smiling is magic. You know, when everything is so hard, and I swear to God, I'm alone, and that's the thing, do it when you're alone, not showing off with people. Just because it could be tricky. If there's people, it's like you want to prove. Like my only practice is being down to earth and doing it for myself, and not proving it to someone.
You know the great Charlie Chaplin song, "Smile when your heart is aching, smile, even though it's breaking, although it's here, maybe ever so near." I've always found that a very sad song, because even though everything's breaking, smile. It's actually feels like a prescription for artifice, for being fake.
Yeah.
But also the people talk about this. I mean, psychology people have said if smiling is good for you, it changes your mood, you know. So it's an interesting that you do that consciously. You do that.
Actually, you remind me something. One thing that I do, I don't know if it's an exercise or not, but I think I like to make people happy. I see people working, let's say at the DMV, whatever. I get challenges. I see they have such a bad personality, and my wife know that. Or we go to a Starbucks, whatever. Someone is like, you know, be moody. My goal is to give them a confidence. I start with a big smile, and I try to be.
You
genuine.
sing Dokhtar Shirazi to them.
No, I don't sing them. I don't know if I see. Let's say someone has beautiful glasses, and I need to believe that she has beautiful glasses. Like, wow, I love your glasses. Wow. And I look at the glasses genuinely, and then like, oh, by the way, can I have a coffee? And that person, you rock her world or his world, and everything changed.
That's lovely. You know? That's lovely.
And I love that.
Speaking of, we talked about Faramarz and we talked about icons. Speaking of icons, you attend a Gugu show in November.
I know where you're going.
Well, of course. I mean, I can't think of something that would be greater for for an Iranian artist to be sitting in the audience as you were, and Gugush stops at one point
Yeah.
and says, and by the way, the video of this has like 3.5 million views, stops and says, in the audience, points to you, is the future of Iranian music.
گفت آینده ایران. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god.
Future of Iran,
Yeah.
the Kamyar.
Yeah.
And then you stand up. What was that moment like?
Oh my god, I was so not prepared for that when I heard that, and I thought I was kind of like looking left, right. Like, it's me, no? And it was like, Kamyar. I was like,
It's Shahram's happening.
yeah, I don't know, somewhere, yeah. And then I really felt honored, and that moment was such an inspiration for me to continue. I think even this was part of my successful tour, because I don't know, I think Mother Nature, God, whatever, gave me some tools before going to this tour, and what Gugush said was one of them. Like it's like food for your soul, ingredients for your soul, and I love Gugush. Then I went to the backstage.
You had no idea she was going to do that.
No.
Did you even know that she knew you were there?
I think the promoter, I mean her manager,
Said,
who's quite friend with me, knew I was here, but not that she was going to say something or whatever. I just know the manager said, you know what? Why don't you sit here? I was like, why? Just come sit here. Come, please. Just a few minutes. I was like, and I was a bit like bothered. Like, what? I was staying with my wife. What the hell? But okay. And then that happened. I was like, oh my god.
Wow.
I think she wanted to.
yeah.
And then I was holding her hand, and I had tears. I was holding her hand in backstage, and I remember just asking her, like, how does it feel to seriously to say bye? And she grabbed my hand with both of her hands. It was like, it's so hard.
What do you mean to say bye?
Because it's a
Farewell tour.
Yeah. It's like, how does it feel with someone like you? You love singing. I don't know, just I felt, because I was picturing myself stopping singing. I was like, and she's a diva, she's a legend, and I know she loves singing. This is like breathing. It's like, how does it feel? And she was like, it is so hard. And then, oh my god, it hit me. I was like, oh. And I just grabbed her hands, and we were like, oh, I couldn't leave her. And I mean, she also was one of the biggest inspiration of my life, and she actually loves Stevie Wonder, by the way.
Huh.
Oh yeah.
How do you know that?
Because I was in so many private parties with her, 10 people. She was singing, I was playing piano. I was always remember the first time I met her. I mean, we really...
You guys were rocking some Stevie Wonder?
Yeah.
If only I could have heard that.
Yeah. And I was like, پرروم بودم. I was like, you know your song خوابم یا بیدارم? I start playing the conservative way. خوابم یا بیدارم. Okay, the way. Say, why don't you? And I'm like, I'm suggesting her. I was like, yeah, what? Why don't you do it the conservative way? And when it gets, اگه این فقط, you can make a jazzy swing. You stop saying, اگه این فقط یه خوابه. I was like, oh wow, that's a cool idea. I never thought of this. I was like, wow. So she's very authentic. She lives in the moment. But you need to see her, talk to her as if she's not only a star. She's also a kid inside. She reminds me of Michael Jackson. People who, a childhood that maybe was missed too, because she was always working. She reminds me of Michael Jackson, and she said it. So when you talk to her and you forget the star, when you treat her as a real person, that's when she's like, oh my God, I can talk to you. I don't care about the cameras. You're not talking to me as if I'm Gugush. خب Gugush Jun, no. Talk like two kids.
Yeah.
And usually I don't do a good job or a bad job, because usually I'm a kid myself inside of me. So
you've got to feel amazing, because I would hope you would recognize this. It sounds like you do. You make popular music, you're not an avant-garde classical music. You could be. I mean, you went to school for it, but you're not, you don't carry yourself that way either. And yet you've got the respect not just the love in terms of your fan base and the popularity of your stuff, but you really have the respect of the music world, the Iranian music world, where all of these icons recognize how talented you are, how great you are. Gugush, Faramarz, all these people we've talked about in our previous interviews as well. And one of those people obviously is Shahbal, who was so instrumental in carrying your career to the next level, sort of discovering you in as much as you needed to be discovered in LA in 2003, or after you moved there in 2003, then into the late 2010 and that whole period in between there where you're in Black Cat. And he was here recently.
Yes, I know.
And you know that he speaks very highly of you. I mean, that could come as no surprise. One of the things that he said, though, that I thought was so sweet. I mean, he's incredible. This guy,
he is incredible.
What's incredible about him is no one would blame him if he carried himself like a pretentious egomaniac icon, but he doesn't, as you know. He doesn't. He's got so much respect and love for those around him, and he's got that mantra of, if I see a drummer who's better than me, I'll say you play instead of me.
Yes.
And he said, I told Kamyar, I basically said, you're too good to be in Black Cat.
Oh my God.
After we did some stuff together, I think he was too good. He needed to go on and do his career.
Well, I mean, Shahbal Shahpare and Black Cat was the biggest school for me to have a crowd, to become overnight kind of a star and handle it. And especially with the Persian community, it was very different with what I did before in France. And I think I felt like a little bird, and it was time for me to fly. And he felt like maybe, even though I was not feeling that, but he felt that that's like a cage, and then you need to fly with your own wings. It was just for me to be ready. It was the best soul chiropractor, and I learned
soul chiropractor. That's beautiful. I've never heard that before. It's wonderful.
Or osteopath too. Yeah, but and he Shahbal was really like a father to me in America. For me, he was the Quincy Jones of Iran.
Sure. And that's a great analogy.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Oh my God.
The Clive Davis / Quincy Jones. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I lived with Shahbal. I was not just in Black Cats, but for many months, seasons, I lived with him. We're in the same house, and I would study him every second, what he says on stage.
What did you most learn from him, or what's something that you feel like you learned from him?
He's not scared. He's just being him. If you want to even say a bad word somewhere, he had the power to say it, and nobody would complain. Maybe people would think, oh my God, they would hate someone for even saying a small bad word or some shaitanat, But when he decides to say something that could sound poru, it's so authentic, it's accepted because it's from him. That's just an example of the formula, but he has the power to do whatever he wants. He could put his shirt up like that and show his stomach. Not that I would do that, but it was just a formula. Oh my God, whatever he does, it's so natural. He does it because it's natural. And even when he was talking to promoters, to people in good, in bad, in good time, bad time, I would learn how he handles it. And I told him, I've been studying. I took notes of every reaction he has, even on the phone. What happened to this? No. And
Professionalism, right?
It was a masterclass for me.
Professionalism. He has this thing. Now you can tell me if this is true or not. Everybody has to be on time. And
God.
He said if someone's not on time, it's funny because he's such a sweet guy.
Yeah.
But then you see the side of him where he's clearly, and not a dictator, but very just professional. He said, if anybody's not going to be on time, I don't want them in the group. And I said, wow, have you ever kicked anybody out? He said, no, because they're all listening to me and they're on time. He said Schubert would say, we don't have to be there the day before. What he would, but he was so did you learn that kind of Professionalism from.
By the way, about Schubert is a great person, great friend, great musician, great composer, arranger, but he was absolutely not on time and he got in trouble. So I think Shaba wanted to be nice. He really got in trouble for not being on time, but I'm going to
He did mention Schubert.
I'm going to leave it to that. I won't say the rest.
And you?
No, I was pretty much on time, especially because him or Ramin Zoka would come pick us up anyway, so we were safe because I was not driving in US first. So I felt like a pasha. I felt like, but I was really scared of him, me not being on time. It would happen, but with me it's 5-10 minutes max. But he was so on time that honestly it would go on my nerves, like it would piss me off. And one time I really got angry. I said to Shaba, you know why? You're lying. Actually, you're not on time. You might think I'm not on time, but you're not on time too. I said, what do you mean? When you say you pick me up at 9, you're texting me at 8:50 and asking me why I'm not here. So you're not on time too. But on the other side, you come too early. And I swear to God, Shabal always come 10 minutes, 15 minutes early and is complaining. I'm here, you're not here. You said 9, it's 9:15. So, and he admitted, it was like, yeah, well, that's how I am. But it's amazing. And the difference between him and other people is he's a true musician. He was a musician. He has this academic background.
Yeah.
Classical music.
Yeah.
He knows about notes, even though what he was doing was had to do with drum percussion, but it was an academic approach. So he knows what is a musician's soul, how to talk to them, how to treat them. That's very different. That's why we respect him even more. But he's just amazing. I miss him. I wish I could be with him right now.
Well, Vegas isn't too far away from
Exactly.
it. When you get back home, you can. It's so great having you here.
Thank you
I was
so
so
much.
looking forward to doing it in person instead of on Zoom or something and seeing you here. I want to go out on. You did this for Nowruz. You did a performance as part of a BBC Nowruz special. And I didn't actually know it was a little mix, a medley of songs. But,
Yes.
But I saw online you doing this Je t'aime, is it? I love you, or what's it called? The song?
The song is called Je t'aime
So
from
I-
Lara Fabian, which
from
is
Lara
a
Fabian,
French-Canadian
Canadian,
singer,
yeah.
It was a medley, by the way, medley of 4 or 5
Okay.
songs. So that's the last song of the medley, but I decided to post it by its own because it was so powerful.
I mean, it is. I'm glad you're saying it because it is so powerful. First of all, I can't say this enough to you. Your voice is just extraordinary.
Thank you very
It
much.
is such a
Mr.
joy. Anytime you open your mouth, listening to you sing is just it is truly, truly a treasure. But yeah, this French song, and then I found out I didn't know it was actually Lara Fabian, who Canadians know, and I guess is she big in France? Would people know?
She's not big in France. She's huge.
Huge in France.
She's a legend like
Okay.
Céline Dion. Same
So
thing.
people would know that song in France.
In France is one of the biggest hit ever done
Okay.
ever in France.
Maybe I'm the only person. Who
Even
doesn't know.
kids know it. No, it's Lara Fabian is huge in France. She's any singer that's go to a karaoke, choose her song. Like Céline Dion and that's the same.
Wow.
Extraordinary.
So tell us, we're going to play the medley. What does it involve? What's inside it?
So the medley, I decided to, because I have a special recipe. It's my specialty to make medley, especially for TV. And I was like, and every time I was like, oh my God, how am I going to keep up with the level? What am I going to do? And my wife helps me a lot. We cook. It's really like cooking. So I was like, I feel really doing something, another message of peace and love, because the world really needs it, regardless if it's in our country, everywhere, especially in the Middle East.
Yeah.
And so I thought, again, losing languages because I sing in so many languages. So I thought, because singing, starting with Ey Yareman, which is from this diva that is not with us anymore, Hayede, which I felt I don't want to be Puru or Roots, because she is like a Whitney Houston, so I try to interpret it being conservative and put a little bit of my style. So I started with Farsi, it's Eid. Then I went to my song with Shahram Shapare, Tomi Tuni. So everything very emotional, love. Then it went to Habibi Ya Noor Elain, Arabic. And then I wanted, after the Arabic, to do Khorshad Haykaliptus, which is a Hebrew, very peaceful Hebrew song.
Wow.
And then after that, finishing with the country I grew up, for Je t'aime, which means I love you, one of the purest and most sincere Je t'aime that is singed, is screamed, is everything, from Lara Fabian, who nobody could sing it like her. And I remember when I posted this, I was like, anyway, out of respect, I swear to God it's true. I was like, out of respect, I have to tag her because I'm so proud.
Right.
And I swear to God, I was like, imagine just in your dream, Kamyar, that she acknowledged it somehow. And I was like, of course it's never going to happen, you know? And I did it. And the day after, I think it was, I don't know, it was in, where was it? In Stockholm or somewhere? I don't remember. No. It was, I woke up in a hotel in the middle of my tour, and I checked, and I just woke up. I go see it, and I see something, Laura Fabian, personal message, a heart. I was like, oh my God, I must be dreaming. Really, it didn't even affect me. I was not happy. I was like, no, you're tripping, or maybe it's a fan page. I look again, blue tick, no mentioning fan page. I go see, oh my God, Huti, Azizam. I start calling her with a morning voice. What is that? Can you read it? Really, like I cannot accept.
It's so sweet that you still get you fanboy over something like that, you know.
And she privately sent me a heart, and that was like, oh my God, and that was like,
as she should. It's amazing. It's amazing, and you're doing respect and deference to her. I'm so glad that we get to play that. I am thrilled to see you here. I'm thrilled that you're in such a great place in terms of feeling that you've discovered yourself, feeling that you rediscovered yourself, feeling like you've had such a great tour. And I really hope you'll come back and do a show in Toronto. I mean, I'm sure there's people listening all over the world who weren't in one of those 5 cities that you just played in, who are like, what about us? What about us? So you have to plan a big tour, you know?
Yes. It's very hard because we wanted to go to so many other cities, but it was impossible to make it geographically. It was so hard. By the way, I want to tell you, Jian, you're really amazing, and it's good to have. It's rare to have people like you, where we can have like really deep conversation. We could laugh, we could be spiritual, and because you allow us to be ourselves, and I like that. Don't change, and it's better than Zoom because I can do this. Look, hi.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much for
to both of
me.
you. Thanks to Hutan as well. Thanks. It's really a pleasure to have you both here.
And let's do this in Iran soon, all together.
You know, that's the thing that breaks my heart about Faramarz.
Yes,
You know,
I know.
he would always say, I can't wait to do this in Iran. And, you know, he's never going to get the chance to do that. But
yeah.
But yeah, absolutely, brother. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you. Merci.
Thank you very much. Bon Didar.
محرم و غمخوار من ای دین و ایمان من خوش می روی در جان من ای درد تو درمان من بند غم میشینه روی لبام تشنه نوازشم خسته از خستگیام وقتی که دستای من گرمی دستی میخواد وقتی یه لحظه خوشی به سراغم نمیاد تو میتونی غمامو خاک کنی گونه های خیسمو پاک کنی تو میتونی دلمو شاد کنی منو از درد و غم آزاد کنی حبیبی 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 یا نور العین 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 یا ساکن خیالی خورشید اکلیپتوس اگه شلاسیغا مریا خملوه الهمائی خورشید اکلیپتوس اگه شلاسیغا مریا خملوه الهمائی Je t'aime comme un fou, comme un soldat, comme une star de cinéma. Je t'aime comme un loup, comme un roi, comme un homme que je ne suis pas. Tu vois, je t'aime comme ça. Tu vois, je t'aime comme ça. Tu vois, je t'aime comme ça.
There it is. That's Kamyar, who has now left our studio. That was the recording from BBC Persian, the New Year's special, and that's the medley of songs that he was talking about that he performed, including that last one there, Je t'aime, which is just a showstopper. Smart Pegah is back in the studio. Hi.
Hello.
He's such a talented guy. Listening back to that's him, right? Playing the piano and singing.
Amazing. I mean, you already know I listen to him. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
But just every time I hear him play or sing, it's incredible.
It really is, and it's so fun to have him in the studio too. He's so engaged and charming, and once again, thanks to Kamyar for being here, and. Kamyar.
Yes, exactly.
Truly. This is Rook, episode 319, and Pegah is here. Before we're going to get to Siamak Mehr, who's also waiting to come in, who I think is also going to perform in the studio.
Amazing.
So we're excited to have him here. But before we do that, we said we'd do a little roundup in between Kamyar. By the way, you were listening to Kamyar.
I was.
As it was going down.
I was actually going to mention, obviously we've had him on the show before. I've seen
Yes.
other interviews. I've listened to his music, all of this. So I felt like I had a good understanding of him as an artist, but I feel like some of the conversation today, I got to know him more as a person.
Yeah.
And he's so easy to listen to. He's so humble and such a personable.
Well, he says that. What did he say earlier in the interview? He said, "I've really found myself. I've come to terms with who I am in a new way." So it sounds like it's a transformative period for Kamyar as well. And yeah, he's very open. He said in the interview, "I'm totally Roqe," and he really is. But he's just also such a bundle of positive energy. You feel good around the guy, you know. Okay. Speaking of positive energy,
Great segue.
what's happening in the world? You had a couple of items for the roundup. There are people who listen to Rook who are fans of the roundup and want to know and want to hear you and us talk about
Pressure's on.
some of the issues that happen. Yeah, normally we start the show with this, but in this case, we're putting it in the middle. We'll keep it pretty short because the show is getting long and Siamak is coming. But what did you want to focus on today?
Well, I know something that's on a lot of people's minds is the Iran-Israel conflict, which started as of a few days ago, April 13th.
It started as of many years ago, but yeah.
The current conflict started as of
yeah.
April 13th of this year. But I don't actually want to focus on that. And I think, being mostly Iranians.
By the way, some would claim there isn't an Iran-Israel conflict.
There's an Islamic Republic conflict with Israel.
That Iranians, in fact, many Iranians don't have a problem with Israel. Right. Attacks on Gaza notwithstanding or whatever, but yeah, that the Islamic Republic has certainly made it very clear, the leadership of the Islamic Republic of Iran, that it's got a problem with Israel.
That's right.
And vice versa.
Exactly. But that's not the part I want to focus on.
Okay.
I actually want to focus on two different things. So the first one, and this is a positive point actually, is the fact that as a result of what's transpired since April 13th, we're starting to see more Iranian scholars and activists and Iranian individuals being given airtime, whether it be on different outlets, whether it's on social media, whether, wherever it is. And I actually think that this is a positive note, because of the fact that we're now being given an opportunity, one, to first of all emphasize that differentiation that you just made, that there is a difference between the Islamic Republic and Iran and Iranians, and two, to actually again shed light on what's happening inside of Iran and how Iranians inside of Iran are affected by what the government and this regime continues to do.
Can I say something about that? I think that's a product of, you're saying that we're seeing Iranians and not just the usual suspects, the sort of policy wonk or Iranian hawk type that's in Washington D.C. that always does the shows, or the former reformists who you would the notorious figures you always see on for year after year on the cable shows. It's not just those folks anymore. It's a bunch of different people. It's more diverse and more interesting. I would put it up to two things. One, the uprising, the Women Life Freedom uprising after the killing of Mahsa Amini, gave voice to so many people who became known in the Iranian community globally for speaking out and making videos and giving their perspective. And so there's a whole new cohort of people that Iranians are used to hearing from, some of whom speak very well in English, are very eloquent, and have caught the attention of folks out there. And the second thing being that I think in media in general, there's more accountability to not just appropriating people's voices. So in the past, it would be some American strategic expert talking on Iran's behalf.
Exactly.
And now they feel like, as they fucking should, they have to bring actual Iranians to talk about, which is interesting, because whether it's protests or declarations, some things sometimes get said in the name of Iranians. There's pro-Palestinian activists saying, Iranians feel like this, or there'll be, pro-Israeli folks who say Iranians feel like this. It's like, why don't you ask Iranians?
An actual Iranian what they think.
And that can be helpful.
Yeah, I agree. And the other thing is, you mentioned because of social media and things like that, I think it's great that we're starting to see Iranians use different platforms to voice their concerns, their opinions, and everything else. I think since the last almost 2 years now, we've seen an influx of that. And that's been the gateway to some of these individuals being recognized. And I think it's so wonderful that we're seeing that. And hopefully it's a way to have our voices heard. So that was the
It's
first
a diversity of voices.
thing. Yes.
Don't always agree with everything everybody says.
Definitely not.
And there's, and I don't think they agree with each other.
No.
You know, some of the toxicity of social media really does play out amongst Iranians who attack each other as, you know, who's the legitimate representative of, I mean, I saw, you know, because Reza Pahlavi was on a couple of these shows, the Shahzadeh, you know, and then I saw your prototypical sort of left-wing Twitter response going, that guy, you know,
He's
that
not
doesn't represent us. It's like,
yeah.
it's just, I mean, what did he say? He said, you know, the Islamic Republic of Iran or the leadership are murderers. I mean, we all agree with that. Yeah,
exactly.
you don't have to attack, you know, but anyway, yeah.
Well, that was the first item. The second item, not so pleasant or positive, unfortunately, so I apologize. We're going into the doom and gloom a little bit.
Okay.
But in the midst of this new Islamic Republic and Israel conflict, we've seen a huge crackdown on hijab laws inside of Iran. So actually, Iranian Islamic Republic authorities have launched an operation as of the exact same day that these attacks on Israel took place. So as of the 13th of April, under the name the Noor Plan, which is a plan that they've created to confront women without proper dress or hijab. And so what we're seeing, and I mean, whether it's through videos or reports or photos, is that we've seen a rise of arrests, violence, physical, sexual, and verbal abuse. We're seeing even on social media people who are inside of Iran sending photos of random street corners and things like that filled with morality police. And unfortunately, we've even seen reports of a few notable names who have been arrested. So most recently, Aida Shah Karami, who is the older sister of Nika Shah Karami, who was killed just last year. She was arrested. Mobina Rostami, who's a national volleyball player, she was arrested after making comments on Instagram. And so we're seeing this happen again.
She basically said, why are we bombing Israel, or we shouldn't be doing that, and that was enough to get arrested
immediately after she was arrested. And the reason I bring this up is because if you remember, back in December of 2022, there was a New York Times article that basically, I think the headline was, the morality police has been abolished. And I really wanted to shed light on this and to bring this topic up, because not only was the morality police clearly not abolished, they are back, and they are back full force, and under the guise of, or under, I guess, while everyone's attention is now on what's happening with Israel, the Islamic Republic is full force going ahead and committing all of these horrific human rights violations that we know they have been for so many years.
It's funny how both countries use the pretext of war with each other to get away with doing things, you know, and to a certain extent, I feel like Netanyahu was playing that game as well.
Yeah.
So there you go. All right.
I don't know how to go from that.
Why do you think you think the regime was just looking for a chance to crack down again, and with a new shiny object of a potential war with Israel, that was an opportunity? Is that what you're saying?
I think they're taking this as an opportunity to do that. And I think the Islamic Republic tends to do this anyway, is that anytime there's attention diverted from the injustices that occur within the country, they kind of ramp it up. And they, whether it's executions, whether it's the morality police, you know, whatever the case may be.
Time to remind the population
exactly.
who's got the iron fist.
But I don't know if they must have thought about this before, because it took place on the same day. But I think this is just a byproduct of them trying to save face domestically with this missile strike and whatnot.
By the way, I just want to remind people, if you didn't get a chance to listen to last week's episode with Dr. Fatali Moqaddam, The Psychology of Revolution, it was pretty, you texted me actually on the weekend. It was funny having just done that interview about his new book, which, among other things, is about how extremists come to power in revolutions gone wrong. And he uses Khomeini as one example, and the Khomeinyists. to have just read that book and Patterns of Behavior and then see
to
what
see
was
this,
happening on the
yeah.
weekend. If you haven't had a chance to listen to that episode from last week, it ended up being quite popular. I think some of our audience has heard Dr. Fatali Muqaddam on our show
And they
now a
know
couple
how great
times.
he is.
He's really worth checking out. If you didn't listen last week, episode 318, we encourage you to. Thank you, Pegah.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Let's get, we're going to trade you here
Yes.
for
All right.
our next guest, who is going to come in the studio with his guitar. All right. And my next guest is a talented Iranian musician based in London, England, who's a familiar face and voice for fans of Persian TV networks. Siamak Mehr was born and raised in Rasht and was inspired by renowned Persian musicians like Habib and Faramarz Aslani, who sparked his interest in the guitar, leading him to take lessons. By the age of 17, Siamak had become one of the few guitar teachers in Rasht of the time. Siamak pursued his passion for music to England in 2003, settling first in Stoke and then in Manchester, where he studied popular music at the University of Salford. He has been a regular presence on Manoto and Chan Shambe Basina, where he is currently a familiar face in the band. And right now, Siamak Mehr joins me in the Roqe Studio. Hello to you, sir.
Salam, good to be here.
Salam. What a pleasure it is to have you here.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you for inviting
good.
me. Thank you.
What's that? Thanks for inviting you. Just step into the microphone there. You got your guitar. It's a little difficult, I know. There you go. Let's put that a little closer to you. There you go.
Yeah, damn.
There you go.
I'm not loud enough. Okay.
Now you're nice and
yes,
loud.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's that bass I'm looking for.
It's very nice to have you
Yeah,
here.
thank you.
I
Thank you so
saw
much.
you a few nights ago perform here in Canada, and you're so good, man. You're
I
such a
enjoyed
great
to
musician.
see you there. Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, I was a bit. I was trying to intimidate you by standing at the front of the stage with my hands closed, going, "All right, show me what you got." But you were great.
Thank you so much. I did my best. I was happy that the people left that night happy. Yeah.
It's tough. I was thinking these Nowruz gigs. It was a Nowruz gig that you did, and they're not easy because people are in a. It's something akin to. I don't want to downgrade it, but it's something akin to a wedding in the sense that people are there to celebrate. They've paid their money, whatever, and so to a certain extent, they want to hear songs they know.
Yeah.
So even when, because just over the last few weeks, I saw, say Black Cats and Shahram Solati and these different people perform who have their own catalog of popular songs, as do you. You have your own song. There's an expectation of, can't you play that Shahram Shahpari song that we all love, or that Gugush song? And so you have to kind of walk that line, right?
Yes, exactly. Last concert in Toronto with Omid, if you remember, our set list was mostly Feridun Foroughi, some of my songs, and essentially you didn't have to dance with this kind of music. So it was in a different level, different class. But yeah, when you gala, when people want to dance, or Nowruz, you know that they expect this kind of songs, and you can't go the other set like Foroughi or they want to dance and they want to appreciate Nowruz.
And can I suggest that that's an Iranian thing? Like, I don't think that would happen in English music. You wouldn't hire Coldplay for your New Year's gala and expect them to do Michael Jackson songs or popular Beyonce songs, right?
I disagree.
You do?
Yes. Lots of these guys, Eric Clapton, you see, before he becomes Eric Clapton for us, he's a cover artist.
Yes.
All of them do the cover.
Yes.
And
once they're big, though. Not once they're very famous. I mean, a Clapton show now, does he do a bunch of covers, or does he do his back catalog?
Still does the cover. Layla song, he's famous for, his or Tears in Heaven, he doesn't play in gigs that much. Yeah. But most of his good songs that we hear from him is cover.
You're a Clapton
covers.
fan, I guess, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Persians like, there's some really great stuff that Iranians like, art rock stuff that I'm always impressed, like Floyd, Pink Floyd, that Iranians. And then there's some weird stuff like Krista Berg. I've never understood the Persian fascination for Krista Berg. Like I know he visited, but you'll talk to like a Persian person, from Iran, and you'll be like, yeah, you know, the greats like Dylan and Springsteen, and they'll go, yes, and Krista Berg, and you'll be like, no, not Krista Berg,
No,
but they're
no.
really into Krista Berg.
No, Pink Floyd, I
Pink Floyd.
really loved it.
All right.
From Syd Barrett time, it was a different story, and then when Dave Gilmour came in, that's another one.
Which Floyd are you?
After Syd Barrett.
The Gilmour years?
Yes.
And then not the, does Roger Waters have to be in the band?
Oh, of course, no, with
Okay.
Roger Waters, yeah.
So you don't like the albums after Roger Waters?
Animals, my favorite.
Look at you.
Animal,
All right, yeah.
I love that album. Yeah.
Speaking of inspirations and icons, we were going to actually start this interview with, it wasn't too long ago that we lost our dear Faramarz Aslani. And I happen to know he is part of your story in the sense that as a young boy, he was a great inspiration to you. So we were going to actually kick things off with you doing a Faramarz song.
Oh, my pleasure.
Here in the studio. What did you want to do? And tell me a bit about how he inspired you.
I used to play a little bit keyboard and percussion before I started guitar. And I saw a video, I think was from Nowruz, his 72 in Iranian calendar, I think, after the do. Aslani was playing with Ardashir Farah together.
1993 or something?
Something, yes, yeah. And I got crazy. I said, one guitar sounds like that? Okay, I didn't know that. And music that I used to listen was Moeen, Daryush, with all orchestration. And I didn't know one guitar can create that massive impact to listeners. And I really loved it. And somebody told me, we didn't know that. Somebody told me, yeah, that's his son. So, okay, that Ardashir Farah. And then later I just, I got to know Ardashir.
I'll come back to your story, but why did Faramarz in particular, or let me put it this way, tell me about the emotions you went through when you heard that we lost him.
I was in a party that night, and we were having a good time and somebody just came to me, do you know that this happened? We lost Faramarz. And it was shocking, you know, I still get goosebumps. So how? He just announced unbelievable. And my friend Casey came to me. He said that, I know how you feel, but let's celebrate his being and what he did to our lives and society.
I would call him the Persian Leonard Cohen, and it's the highest kind of respect I can pay. What song are you going to play for us here of Faramarz?
Which one do you like?
Oh, which one do I like? I mean, do you know them all? I would say To or Shab or a Chekke. Do you know Chekke?
Which one is Chekke? I shouldn't have to ask you that which one, yeah?
It's بوی تنت پیچیده بود, that one. Do you know that one?
No, I'm not ready for
okay. Do you know To? No. You know the older stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe
ones.
Divar?
Divar, I love this.
All right. Wow, look at you. I could just say anything and you'll play it.
یه دیواره یه دیواره یه دیواره یه دیواره که پشتش هیچی نداره تو که دیوارو پوشیدن سی ابرون نمیاد دیگه خورشید از توشون بیرون یه پرنده است یه پرنده است یه پرنده است یه پرنده است که از پرواز خود خسته است بن بالشو بستن دست دیروزا نمیاد دیگه حتی به یادش فردا. انا دوستان به من بگو بی وفا حالا یاره که هستی خزان عمرم رسید نوبهاره که هستی میخوام برم دور دورا دلم طاقت نداره دست غم تو داره روزمو میشماره میدونی دل اسیره تا بمیره میدونی بدون تو دلم آروم نگیره میدونی دل تنگ تو نموده آهنگ تو ولی بیهوده جویم بسی بوده پویا
Wow,
آخه
that's so beautifully
یادش
done.
بخیر Faramarz still with us.
Yeah. But you go ahead, put your guitar down. That is so beautiful. Thank you for that impromptu medley there of a couple of. It's amazing actually even just watching the chord changes. You get. He was amazing. He wasn't known for being a songwriter, even though he was the songwriter.
Yeah.
It was it's weird. I mean, with Faramarz, he's known because he was so handsome and he had the voice. And so you'd be mistaken for thinking, oh, he's another guy that people write music for and he kind of performs it and he's a lovely performer. But he was really the whole package.
Yes.
And he was doing stuff that nobody else was doing. This guitar, singer, songwriter kind of music, right?
And like he didn't care that what people think. He wanted to be himself and he did.
Yeah.
Even with the guitar, and he could be Faramarz and you could listen to him for hours. We didn't have such an artist. I can't recall anyone else doing that.
Well, that's interesting because I want to ask you about you and how you grew up and grew into music. I want to get to you being on the Sina Valiolo show, and because it's interesting to me. It's a cool gig, but before that, just to go back, I know you come from an artistic background in Rasht, your family, right? Your father was a singer.
My father sings. No.
Oh, he wasn't a professional singer.
No.
Oh, I see.
He sings better than me. Much better than me.
Really?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Well, so he's very good.
He sings Avaz, Iranian Avaz.
Right. But let me say that one of the things I really want to get to in thinking about you is you fall into the age group that you're too young to have been active musically before the Islamic Revolution, right? You're not in the category of the Gugush Dariush who had careers, or Faramarz even, right? But you're too old in the sense that you're not too old. You're old enough in the sense that you didn't come of age in the 21st century, where inside Iran, despite the fact that the Islamic regime still is there, etc., there's a lot more openness in terms of the access to music, access to musical instruments, access to studios, all of that. You're in this weird place where you're literally a kid in the 80s and 90s when music isn't allowed, instruments aren't allowed. Exactly. So it's always fascinating to me, and it's quite rare, that somebody becomes a guitarist at that time. Tell me how that happened.
Most of it was with Faramarz Aslani's influence in our society on those days. Before that, you couldn't find this kind of music in any Nowruz shows. First time I saw it there, and I decided, I want to do that. I want to play guitar. And I asked my dad to buy me a guitar. And there was no teacher around. I asked friends and to help me. Anybody could just. I reach out. I asked them to help.
Was it hard to find a guitar?
Buying a guitar was a different story. The day I went to the store to buy a guitar, there was a broken guitar there, and the guy said, "Just 5 minutes ago, the police came and broke this guitar." And
wow.
Yeah, and I didn't see my first guitar. I paid the money and said, "Okay, guitar is at the booth, in the trunk. You just go home."
Wow!
I just went home. So
because
this is my guitar.
Even Faramarz Aslani music was banned by the time you're a kid in Iran. So you're listening to albums or cassettes or something that your parents might have, or I don't know, do you have older brothers and sisters? I mean, where are you even getting this stuff?
And then network with friends. To find this kind of music, even Eric Clapton's or Pink Floyd, nobody knew this kind of names, and very few people you can find in a million population in a city, like 2-3 people could have these videos, and you have to beg them, please, let me watch it. So no, you copy it, and then everybody has it.
Right.
So okay, let everybody have it. What's the point?
Right. So you go to a store. How old are you when you go to see the broken guitar?
I was like 15.
15.
Yeah.
And you convince your dad to go, like, I want to play the guitar. And so you go to a music store, and there's one guitar, but it's broken, and they put one in they secretly put one in the trunk of the car? Is that what happened?
Yeah, exactly.
And how? It's amazing. And then how do you learn to play?
First, I put the Aslani's video, and I said how he plays this 4/4 rhythm, and I did damage my fingers and everything. That his guitar was nylon and mine was steel string, so I didn't know there's a difference, and I just sat in front of the chimney in our house and started playing. Dum dum.
And you taught yourself chords or what?
Not chords, no, just a rhythm.
Just the rhythm, okay.
And then you see the guitar. If you don't change the chord, it sounds horrible. So but I still could do a rhythm. And I found someone, and slowly I just built up a network. As it wasn't only me. The city was growing and society was growing.
Right.
After a few years, if you remember, there was a guitar, tabby guitar, we say. Everybody had a guitar. He wanted to go to learn guitar. After I left Iran, same thing happened to violin. Everybody wanted to play violin.
Sorry, when you're saying you're watching Faramarz Aslani, you're not just saying that because he's now passed and you want to show respect. He really was the inspiration at
Everybody
the time.
was like that. Every guitarist, Iranian guitarist, they went the same path. Yeah.
Wow. And by the time you're in your late teens, then you're teaching guitar, right? So you get good enough that you can teach guitar in Rasht?
Yes, I could say yes. I learned it very fast, like a year and a half.
Clearly.
And
Yeah.
I went gigs those days, again, for parties and when people go for music players, drum was out of the system, like last 80s, yeah? No drums, everybody using rhythm box and just a keyboard going to do the party. And I kind of started, said, I want to take guitar to parties. Everybody said, oh, come on, you want to take guitar to parties? Guitar is not for parties, keyboard. So no, let's do it. And we did it. I brought a bass player as well to
Wow.
and lots of people still maybe they asking the bass player, can you just play your guitar? I can't hear it. So man, it's bass.
Did you know Arash Mitui?
No.
Okay. When we did the Pink Floyd series that we did, a lot of people would talk about how he was one of the first ones to play sort of rock music at these house parties, these underground sort of gigs. But even that one, I think, was the 90s. That's so interesting. So you start teaching in Rasht. And by the way, I mean, it's wonderful that you have parents that would enable this, that didn't say, no, you have to be an engineer or something. But did you actually think you could have a career in popular music in Iran?
My parents trusted me maybe because I was going to be a teacher. So I was studying to be a teacher. So they said, okay.
A general teacher.
Yes,
Okay, yeah.
school teacher, yeah. They said, okay, his job is guaranteed and he loves it, let him have it.
So you become a teacher, though, in Iran, right? You become in Rasht. And life is going along, and in 2003, you end up leaving Iran after an incident that happens, something that happens at your school?
Not really that, because I was a teacher at the same time as I was doing music with bands. In Iran, they didn't like it. They said, okay, they saw my nail, on my right hand. I was playing. So well, you can't have nail. It's bad for children to see.
Right.
What do you mean? Okay. They said, no, you have to go study, I don't know, religious things. Again, they sent me to this kind of school. I said, come in, let me just go.
Wait a second.
I want to
You're
leave.
already a teacher?
Yes, I was.
And who sends you to? Remember, I don't know this. I didn't grow up in Iran. So who sends you to go to a religious thing?
There is an organization for any. They call it Gozinesh in Iran. Yeah, that's an organization. Observe this kind of thing. You're into keep you into their standards.
Like fingernails?
Yeah, anything.
It's crazy.
Or if you come into the school, your buttons should be done all. If it's one open, this kind of. Or you don't shave.
Right.
Yeah.
So you got in trouble for the fingernails.
That's why I didn't shave. You see.
This is you're defying them still. 20 years later, you're.
You see, I'm still excited about it.
What was since music was your thing, why didn't you leave earlier? I mean, I'm curious. As a 18-year-old, why didn't you say, I'm out of here? I want to play in a rock band in England or something?
It's not that easy. Come on. from Rasht. Those time now, those days, no, you can't do that. Not easy. Money is an issue, family, and no.
So how do you? What's the moment where you say I'm going to go?
I could make money enough from music. I taught music, and I performed. So I was kind of successful musician in the city.
In Iran.
Yes.
So that's
in Rasht.
So why did you leave?
I said, that's enough. I was like 25, 26. I felt successful enough in those area. And I said, that's enough. I want to see what was happening outside Iran. And I went there, and I'm happy I left. Because life happens only once. So why not just go and search to see what other people doing?
Were you going back and forth for a time, or did you, once you left, you left?
I just left.
Yeah. It's amazing. I love the story that you go to England, you spend a little bit of time in London, but then you end up in Stoke, which...
They sent me there.
Who sent you there? Why is people are constantly sending you places? Who sent you to Stoke?
I arrived there. I went there zero. So they help you, and then
who's they? You're a refugee?
Government. Yes.
I see. Okay. Yeah. So the government helped you. I should just explain, as somebody who grew up in England. The Stoke is a place in between Birmingham and Manchester. It's sort of in the middle of the country.
You've been there, yeah?
I've been everywhere in England because I toured as a musician there, but and I also was born there, grew up there. But it's a really funny place for a Persian guy who's just come from Iran at that time, especially. Like, I can't imagine
that college I was talking about is Burslem College, if you know Stoke. That Slash was there.
Okay. So what was it like to have just come from Iran and to be in Stoke?
I don't know what to tell you.
Well,
yeah, that's a part of life.
I'm guessing there wasn't a lot of kababis around, or like
no.
Right. So did you integrate very easily?
I don't think so. No, and 4 years a little bit hard life, I could tell, but after that is more brighter. Then I moved to Manchester.
Were you playing music in Stoke?
Stoke, no. I work at other works, delivery, driving, whatever I could do, I did. Yeah.
So you weren't even doing what you loved.
I was doing Iranian music regularly, going London and other cities. So doing that. Yeah.
Okay, and so then you go to Manchester.
Manchester, yes. Started the professional music life. I got my diploma in Manchester, and then 3 years University Salford. And then TVs happened, Manitou and Sina's show happened.
This would be about 10 years ago, or 12, 14 years ago when Manitou started. And how do you get involved in Iranian TV?
I was working in a club. Like, I spent 11 years playing regularly there as a DJ and a house musician. And Babak Saidi called me once for the first season of the Shariat. He said, can you come over? Because I had a couple of rehearsals with Babak in London. So I said, Babak, I can't come to London and stay for 2 months for rehearse because I got a job here. If I lose this job, I'm done with it. So no, you have to come and stay. So
sorry, that you were DJ. This is in Manchester. You were still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I love, so you're a DJ and you're playing. So what kind of a club was this? Like, what I'm curious, the music, like what would you DJ and then also perform?
For the start, I started with the guitar, singing kind of Wonderful Tonight, Eric Clapton, Walk of Life, Dire Straits.
Okay.
The owner was a Turkish guy. I sang a couple of Turkish music.
Okay, all right, yeah.
And then 1 hour slot for performance, live performance. And then
solo, or you had a band with you?
Solo, mostly solo, and with backing tracks sometimes.
Right. That's a long time to be doing that.
Yeah.
And then you would play like Turkish music as a DJ, or what was that?
Yeah, Turkish and English music. Yeah.
All right.
Mostly this is like for English people, but the owner was Turkish to make him happy. That was a job. Like 11 years, you live.
How many nights a week?
2 nights a week.
Two nights a week.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had the rest of the week.
Yeah.
You didn't wake up at
sleeping.
3 p.m. every day.
No, sleeping rest of the week.
Wow, yeah. Okay, so then you get scouted for TV. It's curious because you've turned into this guy who you're synonymous with Persian TV. I mean, you're and ubiquitous. You're on these programs now. What was the first thing you did on TV, on Persian TV?
I was hired as a guitar player for Sher Yadet Nare when I went there. And they said, can you sing? And I thought, I can't go to Iran then if I sing. I'll be on the spot. So I said, why not? Let's give it a try. And I'm happy that I did it.
That was the turning point where you knew you weren't going back to Iran.
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
2016 or 17.
Okay. And when did you start with Sina Valiolo show?
Sina go 5 years back from now, and the 5 seasons we're working together.
Tell me about what's it like being on the Chanshabe with Sina.
What is better than this? To see Sina performing next to you every week. It's really fun. Sina is really fast brain. He decides. When he sees things, he does it. He doesn't care that, okay, I'm going that. I'm going to do that. This is right. I'm going to do that. He doesn't think that much. We're happy that like 5 years is a lifetime for us. You know?
There's a great tradition of in late night talk shows of the host, and the host sometimes has a side person, as does the Sina, and then there's a band, the regular band, and the regular band sometimes gets known quite well. I mean, there was Paul Schaefer with David Letterman and Doc Severinsen with Johnny Carson, the Roots now with but it's also kind of a confining gig. Like once you're committed to that, it's really hard to tour, it's really hard to do your own music. Tell me about your commitment to staying with this with Sina's gig.
I had a little dilemma about it. I know that if I'm there, so as a solo artist, it's going to be a little bit jeopardized maybe. I'm not sure even, but still that helps me to be in the media and every week. And big reason is that my mother can see me every week.
She knows you're okay.
Yeah, that's a big reason to be there. But they're my friends. We're like family there, you know. Shadi is there, just handling everything. Sina is there, managing. You know, this ship won't sink.
Nice.
It's in
Wow,
good
that's
hands.
a wonderful thing to say.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people can say that about their workplace. And you sometimes back up other musicians who come, or you play with guests who come, right?
Yeah.
So that's got to be a fun part of the job. Who have you gotten to perform with by virtue of being in these TV networks that has been really special to you?
Bijan
Mortazavi?
Mortazavi, yeah. This guy is great. I love him. Yeah. Not only is a singer, he's a really good musician with exceptional ears, you know. he told me that, Siamak, your 12th fret is a little bit out of tune. So come on, it's not you, it's your guitar. So, okay.
He's amazing, huh? He's like
it.
a professor.
And he throws it at you. So okay.
Was your 12th fret out of tune?
It probably wasn't in tune. My guitar wasn't in tune. Yes.
Right.
Yeah. We tuned it open string, and the 12th fret. Yeah, it was a little bit off.
How much time does it take to create these programs? Like what we see, are you guys in rehearsals all week for this, or because it seems like a pretty smooth production by the time it happens, but does it just happen all in one day, or are you guys spending most of the week thinking about what you're doing?
It's an hour show, okay?
Yeah.
What do you think? How long would it take to record normally?
Well, if it was, I can tell you the model of the American or the Canadian version, which is that you, if it's a late night show, like a show that's going to come out at 10 p.m. or something like that, they usually record it in the afternoon. I was a guest on a few of these kind of shows, Conan or something like that. So in that case, they would, I think they would sort of write it and prepare it and all of that throughout the day, then record around 5:30 in the afternoon, and then put it out in the evening. But those are daily shows too. I think Sina's once a week, right?
Yeah.
So what do you guys do?
Preparation is all by Sina himself. He brings the main stuff, That's his show, his monologues, everything. Everything is directed by Sina himself.
Does he write it all?
Yes. As long as I know,
he doesn't have writers. That he writes all of the stuff up the top, the jokes and all. That's all him.
And voicing, all voices,
Amazing,
everything.
amazing, yeah.
That's Sina. Yeah. He comes, does his monologue, like half an hour, and whatever it takes. Whole show we do it as fast as possible, like 1.5 hour, like max 2 hours. If we have 2-3 guests, so it takes that time to interview them.
But that's to record it. Do you guys don't have to rehearse what you're going to play, and you're
for music is there all the time. If a new singer comes, they come the day before. They have one like 2-3 hours rehearse. Then in midday tomorrow we record it. That's it.
It's a great gig. It's not. It doesn't take up that much of your time. It sounds like.
No, nobody's unhappy with the timing. Everybody's
That's
okay.
amazing.
1-2 hours.
There are not a lot of great musical gigs in the Iranian media world and in Iranian music world. I mean, that's great. Good
That's
for
why
you.
I love my job.
Yeah, man, you found a good job. You found a good job. It's hard to make ends meet in London. That's a good gig. So you are putting out a new album, or you're writing an album? Where are you at with your latest album?
I decided to collaborate with KC. You know KC Bondar.
I love KC.
Khashayar is one of my friends.
He is quickly becoming the go-to. He's like the ubiquitous. You see him with he's with Bija Mortazavi, he's with Kiosk, he's there, and he's such a great guy and great producer and a great player. So how did you find him?
When Khashayar is there, you're not scared of anything goes wrong, whatever.
Right.
Just, okay, I'm gonna go there and just have my show, enjoy it, man.
Right.
That's it. And I think any other artist will feel that way. So pay anything, just you come with me, please.
Wow.
Be around.
Wow.
He just suggested that. Let's do.
He
work.
also looks like he's been working out, so he can beat up anybody as well. You're safe.
Really?
You know.
Okay. I didn't consider that. Yeah.
Well, since you're speaking of safety, if somebody comes after you, Casey's like, he can handle himself now. Yeah.
Safe as when you go there, nothing goes wrong. And
I see. Yes, I got
sound.
Yeah.
And he suggested that we let's work with some of great artists in Iran as lyricists, and we can make songs and he can produce it. A new album coming out. Afshin Muqaddam is a lyrics, one of the best lyricists in Iran at the moment, and Casey is a producer.
That's amazing. And what? It's the music's going to be in Persian.
Yes.
So when can we? And is it your solo project? Is it under your name?
3 of us, yes.
So
as a team.
So together you're called Siamak Mehr?
I'm a singer. I just sing.
Is there a band name or is it your name?
I don't know. I don't care, to be honest. It's going to be my name.
It's kind of
maybe.
important. I mean, we'd have to know whose record we're buying.
It's my name. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it is your name. You're Siamak, Casey, and Afshin, and together you are Siamak.
You can see I don't care about these things. Come on.
You really don't care about these things?
No.
Dude, this is important.
I know, but I want to play music. I want to be around this industry.
I love it. That's
like
so pure.
Come on, I'm like 45 now. You think after all these years playing guitar, like my students, come on, they could become stars, some of them, but I don't care about that now.
What do you care about?
Oh, that's a big question.
I mean,
come on, why
really
did you throw that to me?
Because I want to know. If you don't care about making money
understanding life, understanding is not a duty on me that you have to understand life. No, that's I can't say beauty of life. I can't say cruelty of life, but it's life. We're here. Okay, that's fascinating.
You have a very good. You seem like you're a very positive guy. My only experiences with you've been so lovely. Do you? I mean. I sometimes ask this question. I don't want to be tedious about it, but I mean, to a certain extent, I think about someone like you, and I think if you had been born in Toronto or in London or in LA, your music career could have had a different start for the first 20 years, and a much faster, a bigger start. Does that make you bitter at all?
No. I was born somewhere that speak Farsi.
Hmm.
If I didn't speak Farsi, I didn't know lots of things. Farsi it's a fortune for me, because I feel that that's the root of all languages. If I'm from Ukraine or if I'm from Finland, I wouldn't know that. For example, Roqe Studio Berlin, where is this word coming from? Rook, Rouge, Rouge, Rus, Roshan. These are the same thing coming from Farsi. So if I was born in Finland, I wouldn't know that.
You love being Iranian.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Uh-huh.
It's Farsi. It's about Farsi.
I see. You love the Persian language.
Yeah, Iran is not.
Which is different from being Iranian.
Yeah, Iran is not this map we're looking at. Iran is from. We're talking about this culture is from Uzbekistan to Syria. They all in our culture, Iranian culture.
And why is that so important? I'm not disagreeing. I'm curious why you believe that's so important.
Helps me towards more understanding of why we do what we do, why we say what we say, these things, the words we use.
Is your family still in Iran?
Yes.
In Rasht?
Yes.
You probably can't go back there right now because of your...
It's risky.
It's risky.
Yeah.
A guy who's on the Sina show every week, it's...
And laughs at Raisi's jokes
Right.
louder than anyone else.
Right. On camera. Do you want to go back?
Now, no. Because the place I grew up is not there. All these different buildings. It's a different city, different people, different smell in the air.
Well, hopefully things will change and you can at least get to... It must be hard to not be able to visit your family, at least.
Of course.
As it is for me. It's such a pleasure to have you here. You're such a good guy and such a talented guy. So is this song you're going to play, Vakti Dunya, is that one of the songs from the new album that you're working on with KC and Afshin?
That one has been released already. That's melody and lyrics by Arman Taban, one of my friends. And new album coming, like 8 songs.
Mm-hmm.
My emphasis is let's do something that's important for me. All the time I say, if a man is shouting and want to sing something in D minor and shouting, it should be something important. That you can't say that why your socks is, for example, red today and shout it. Come on, that's not you shout about. So that's that important thing for me.
What does important mean? Is it political?
Not necessarily political, no. When there's pain, you might shout to sing something worthy, not anything.
No.
And the sound is important for me now. I want Casey to just bring new sound out of this project.
Well, I can't wait to hear it. But you're going to play a song that has been released.
Yes.
Right now. Let's hear it. That's so good. It's so lovely to have you here. Siamak Mehr is here in the Rook Studio with his guitar. He's going to play one of his own songs, well, one of his own recorded songs, at least, even if it's written by others, called Vakti Dunya. Siamak, of course, you can see him regularly on Chan Chan Beba Sina on the MBC, right? MBC, yeah. MBC Persia Network. All right, take it away anytime, buddy.
وقتی دنیا پر تکراره و این زندگی اجباره و چشمای تو بیداره و تو دلگیری وقتی بارون داره میباره شب است دلهور سرشاره و قسم تو رو کم داره و بی من میری دیگه وقتی نمیمونه که تو رو به قصه بسپارم و از شب غم و بردارم و من عشق تو کم دارم دیگه وقتی نمیمونه که تو رو به قصه بسپارم و از شب غم و بردارم و من عشق تو کم دارم وقتی چشمات پر بارونه و از دنیا دلت خونه و شب ساکت و محزونه و تو دلگیری وقتی دستات منو میرونه و عطرت اینجا میمونه و دل کندن تو آسونه و بی من میری همه چی دیگه تموم میشه به جز این شب تکراری و این گریه اجباری و حسی که به من داری دیگه وقتی نمیمونه که تو رو به قصه بسپارم و از شب غم و بردارم و من عشق تو کم دارم
Nicely done. Live in the Rook Studio, Siamak Mehr and Vakti Donya. That was beautiful, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for lending your beautiful voice to our studio.
Thank you.
It's
Thanks
been a
for
real
having me.
pleasure.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Hope you come. I hope Casey will convince you to come back to Canada more often.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I would do it with pleasure.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Merci. It is full time for Rook for today. Remember, for all things Rook related, rookmedia.com is our website, rookmedia.com. Thanks to Kamyar, thanks to Siamak for being in the studio today. Thanks to the amazing team who put this show together. Super Parisa, Smart Pegah, Savvy Roham, Talented Anahita, Methodical Kaveh, Bearded Omid. Thank you to all of you out there for supporting us and sharing our content. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Find me on Instagram at Jian Gomeshi. Find the show at Rook Media, where you can also get tickets to Rook Live 2. As ever, Mizun Bashi.